Better hurry, spark it up with no worries. Harmonious gang with the big bro Yuriy. Hyphy, get lit just like me. Big bossed up, chop it up with Rylee. You better come with it to kick rocks, cause you now tuned in to 10 Talks. Now let's get lifted and take a shot. You are now tuned in to 10 Talks.
I got rid of the thumbnail, right? Yes, I did.
Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Easter
Yes.
to all the people watching right now.
Happy Sunday and happy Easter to everyone. Facts. Thank you guys so much for joining another episode of 10 Talks. Episode
Yes, sir.
112. And I'm just going to have the chat up just for a second, like always, just to make sure that we're good and everything's working fine. If we have any audio issues, they'll let us know. But boom, here we are, guys. And also, wait, hold on, we forgot. Cheers.
Our little water.
Oh, yeah, our little waters.
Our little glasses.
It's just cute to drink out of tiny
I
cups.
know, they're just so adorable.
And water is just always good for you.
Cheers.
So YouTube, everyone drink water, guys. Boom. All right. All right. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just really want to make sure. I just want to make sure that we're good. Okay. I feel like we're good now. Okay. Now I could officially put the chat away so we can not get distracted. But
all right.
boom. Thank you guys once again. I'm sorry for repeating myself, for joining another episode. I appreciate you guys so much, or we appreciate you guys so much.
Yes, we
And,
appreciate you.
Some more than others. I'm joking.
I'm joking.
Really?
You guys know when Yuri's telling the truth when he adds that little laugh and it says I'm joking after.
Really? That's not true. I've said hella actual jokes that I'm joking, but that was one of the jokes I was joking. Either way,
Okay. Let you tell it.
Happy Easter to everyone.
Yes,
And I didn't
Easter.
realize how big deal Easter was, or how big of a deal Easter was, until Rylee told me that every store is closed today. And I was like, Easter was always just the day you go, looking for eggs when you're a kid. But I never thought it affected stores.
Well, you celebrate on a different day
Oh, yeah,
than
that's
everybody else too. So
That's
you
true.
probably just had
A
a day that was a normal ass day.
Yeah, and we would collect eggs on a different day.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's probably true. I forgot about that.
But no, it's literally a religious holiday like Christmas, where it's a religious holiday. So I feel like most stores are closed for the most part, except for grocery stores. I learned that.
I feel like
But then I remembered, when my mom worked at the grocery store, she was always working every holiday.
they close earlier.
But they close early, but
Exactly.
our final said they're just doing their normal hours. So.
Oh, really? I feel bad for them. But there's certain people, a lot of people.
But they get that holiday pay.
Yeah, holiday
So-
pay. And then for me, if I was working on Easter, it's not like I'm working on New Year's. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no. It's like, I'm like, bruh.
Or Christmas.
Unless you had kids, then that would suck.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I'm Russian, so I could pull the old Russian card and be like, hey, actually,
I need this day off.
Easter is on is 10 days after American Easter. That's what's so clutch about being Russian. Like Orthodox Christian Russian is where our Christmas is on January 7th. Or we celebrate on New Year's. So it's like for us it's kind of clutch, because whenever I have to get presents from my parents or my family members, we get it after Christmas when all the discounts kick in. You know what I mean? Like when they don't really care anymore, nothing's upcharged anymore. Then also you get an extra week or two of shopping.
Did you guys ever have to do Lent? Or is that like a...
Lent?
It's called Lent. I think that's what it's called.
Where we starve ourselves?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice?
You have to sacrifice something you love for I think a month. Until I don't know exactly what day it starts until Easter. So my tias would always sacrifice coffee. They wouldn't drink coffee until that time, or red meat.
I would have to sacrifice
chocolate.
you.
Me?
Yeah. I love you.
fuck?
I love you the most. It says sacrifice what you love. So I just be like,
You're so corny.
I'd be like, sorry, babe, can't talk to you for the next week.
That's sus as hell.
Don't text me for the next week, deuces.
Hell no, that's weird.
I'm practicing Lent. What do you don't fuck with my religion or some shit? That's closed-minded of you.
You don't practice it, you said.
Yeah, I do. I just did. I said right now. I'm gonna start right now.
Okay.
I'm super
Well, if that's
religious.
what you want to do, then okay.
Yep.
Deuces.
Oh my god. No, I'd be more worried about
This is Yuri's show now, guys.
my show because I'm practicing Lent.
Well, you
or-
said you're sacrificing
or
me,
Lent,
so I guess I
whatever
gotta
it is.
go.
Oh, but it's only for a week, right? You said.
No, it's a month.
Oh, even better. All right, no, I'm joking.
You're a
I'm joking.
Never mind.
Oh my god. But yo, guys, first thing I want to talk about, which is we already kind of talked about this, or I already talked about this when Brittany came over the other night, and we did like a super late night stream.
That was fun though.
Yeah, that was super fun. We haven't done one of those we haven't done anything like that.
We haven't been up that late in a long time with friends. With friends.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I was glad that they were, because I'm gonna get into the whole night, guys. Like I said, I've already explained the story during that stream, but I want to get into this again because I want to explain what the hell happened, because it was so freaking annoying. But at the end of the night, I thought everyone's gonna go home, and I'm so glad they brought up. They're like, "Hey, if you want, we can come to your house and we'll stream." I was like, "Let's do that." Sounds a million times better.
Even Brittany, she was like, "This is vibe. I love this way more. Like, this is way more fun."
I hate dragging people here that don't want to be here, though. You know what I mean? Just like,
but they wanted to come.
Here we go. You know, I'm just like, I feel bad sometimes asking people to come, because at this point, I feel like the first couple times you invite someone over for a fun stream, they're like, "Wow, so new, so cool." You know what I mean? Like, amazing. And then the fifth time, you're like, "Yo, I'm streaming. Come through." They're like, I don't know. Dude.
Yeah, you have to really be into streaming or like talking to the chat to like come through. Belle's like that, Potlord's like that, Blasie's like that, Houseone's like your whole squad is like that. To be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like the random friends.
Exactly.
that come through and they're just like, oh.
And you're like, exactly. It makes it kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, okay, yo, guys. So this is what happened. I've been trying to plan hella different IRL streams to do now that I have this, live view set up and shit.
You did a lot this week.
Did I?
I think so. You did something pretty much every day except for like one or two.
That's true. Well, I want to do more. I feel like I'm still not doing enough. But either way,
Trust me, we know.
I'm trying to do as many IRL streams as possible and get creative as possible with everything. And I've been like looking up different events and shit. And I found this one event where it was like a tequila tasting, and I was reading through it, and it basically said, we've never done anything like a tequila tasting or a bar night, but Rylee and I have looked at a bunch of other events before where we like considered going, and we're looking up like photos and videos, and it always seems like such a good time. It seems like 20-30 people you never met before, you know what I mean, like in a small room, and they have like drinks and shit. Everyone gets to mingle and talk. Like, it always seems like a good vibe. And that's why when I saw this tequila tasting, it was only like $25 per person. I was just like, okay, this seems like a good time. Says up to 30 people, so I was imagining 30 people being there, including us and Vel and Brittany, and then like we get there and okay, guys, here's the
paint the picture.
Yeah, here's the main thing is, I saw the address was in downtown LA, and then I remember when I was looking up the address at home, I saw that it was right next to Skid Row, like right next to it. And
I don't think I've ever been to Skid Row. I think this was like my first time. I think we've probably driven by it when I first came to LA like a couple of times.
Honestly, Skid Row, guys, is like ever changing. It's just like the homeless people find a different place where it's kind of chill, and they kind of like keep grouping around in different places in downtown LA, but that area is like labeled, on Google Maps as Skid Row, which is insane, guys. The idea that Google Maps or Apple Maps says Skid Row, it just means that like, hey, we're confirming a bunch of poor homeless people live here.
Real.
It's like, that's where the homeless people live, over there.
Its own city.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, basically. But I saw on the map that it was close to Skid Row, and I didn't think it was that close. And then Rylee and I were driving over there, and as we were passing certain areas, I was like,
it's like all foggy and like spooky at night.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we're in Skid Row now, and like there's like hella like random people. Just it looks like zombies. Like, okay, so Yuri and I have been watching Parks and Recreation lately, and when they go to the fourth floor, like when it's all creepy and like they hate it, like I felt like that. I was like, this is the fourth floor
in Parks and Recs.
Yes.
But honestly, okay, Riley's not wrong. Where downtown LA, it's always,
but it's like certain areas, like certain patches.
Not gonna lie, it's a lot of it. But like a lot of downtown LA is crazy. But I've spent like a lot of time in downtown LA, like literally from the 1 a.m. to like up to 5 a.m. Like even later, dude. I've spent like until the sun rises in downtown LA. I spent hella, because like that's where all the tall buildings are, you know what I mean? Like, and there was like building climb things I've done that weren't on film either, where it's like me and my homies would go to downtown LA, meet up at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and that's when we would start our whole mission. It's like we would just go around
to see the sunrise and stuff.
Not to see the sunrise, just to like, that's when I was thinking like this is when
nobody's gonna be
no
here.
one's gonna expect someone to climb in at 3 in the morning onto the roof, so that's when we would do all that stuff. And walking around and being around downtown LA at 3-4 in the morning, you always just see the most gnarliest things. And it becomes a point where being a person who's not on drugs and not homeless and you're walking through the street, it becomes very abnormal. Like there was like many times where me and my homie were like just walking through streets in downtown LA at like 3-4 in the morning, and cops will shine their lights on us and be like, what are you doing here? And like we can't tell them we're out
That's
here.
crazy.
We can't tell them we're out here climbing buildings. You know what I mean? Like, but we would usually have our skateboards with us. We'd be like, oh, we're skateboarding, and they'd be like, bro, like this.
You're like
what
getting my morning ride on.
No, the cops would be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing like in this area, right? They would think we were either selling drugs or buying drugs. So it was very suspicious for us. It would make it even more sus. But like, yeah, like it basically turns into some zombie land looking thing. It becomes fucking insane.
It literally looked like zombies.
But
it was so sketch.
But we found the spot, the location of the events or whatever, and then we had to find parking. Downtown LA is notorious for one-way streets, no parking. We had to find this parking structure that was like a block away, and this parking structure was like, it was pretty interesting, guys. We go up there, right? We park, and then as soon as we park, I'm like telling Rylee, I'm like realizing the area we're in. I'm like, this area is hella crazy. My original plan was start the stream inside the car and then walk to the place or whatever it is, right? And then we'll just deal with everything in there. And then as we get to the parking lot, we only had like, I think like 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes before the event was supposed to start. So I was kind of thinking like, let's just go to the event. Number one, because I feel like it's sketchy to walk around this area with my camera out with my whole fucking computer backpack. And number two, because I was like, the event's about to start. Let's just go there, and then I'll just get it started in there while we wait for Vel.
Yeah,
and
I was
Brittany
like,
to
hell
come.
no, you're not gonna do this.
But as we're sitting in the car, like, and I'm like talking to Rylee, this like first like a group of like 5 or 6 girls like walk past us, and they're like saying like, oh, this is a crazy area, and like they went to go take photos or some shit. And then these random 3 dudes like walk past us, and then Rylee's like, oh, one of those dudes was like hella staring, and then
I was like, Bill.
and then and like a couple, like literally like a minute later after Rylee says that,
Hella
like,
staring at the car.
I'm like looking up, because I was like working on my live view shit, and I look up at one point and I see a car driving in front of us, and there's a dude on the hood of the car like hanging on like this.
I was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
And I was like
dude.
looking at the dude on the hood. I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, was that the guy that was staring? And Rylee's like, yeah.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? I don't know. I'm not sure if he was trying to show off in front of you by being on the hood of that car or some shit, but
he was
weird.
Being a weirdo, but and also we were parked right next to the Hotel Cecil.
Oh yes, it's literally right across the street from the Hotel Cecil. And what's even, bro, it gets even funnier, bro. Like downtown LA is so funny where we parked up there at the parking structure. Rylee and I, we spent like 5 minutes trying to find stairs to get down to the bottom floor. We can't find any stairs. We get to the dude who let us in. I'm like, yo, how do we get down here? He's like, it's dangerous. You got to be careful, but you got to take the ramp. Like the ramp that we drove up, he's like, you got to walk down. That's the exit. And I was like, oh, great. And then, Rylee and I end up fucking, taking the ramp, go to the event. And this is where the bullshit starts, is we enter the event. And a lot of bars in LA have this, like, especially nice bars, expensive bars, they have this dress code shit where you gotta like look, you can't come in with snapbacks or hats or, look too streetwear, you know what I mean, like streetwear, or you have to look fancier, like fucking shiny shoes and, dress pants and shit like that. So he was telling me immediately like, oh, we have a dress code, like you're not allowed to have a backpack in here. But I was like, bro, we paid for this event. And he was like, okay, you could bring the backpack in for the events and then you got to go after. I was like, okay, fine. And then we go inside, we find the area where we're supposed to go, and there's like no one there. And like I said, we were already like 5 minutes away from the event starting, and there was like no one there. We sit down. I start like fucking trying to. It's super dark in there, and I'm like, oh, dude, guys, this is a bar, and like kind of like a small bar too.
It's a really small bar.
It's not a big bar. It's like a small bar, and I'm like sitting down. I take my backpack out with this giant box with the live view equipment, and I'm like pressing all these buttons trying to get the shit to work, and I'm like thinking like, bro, I look insane right now. People are probably looking at me. Like I realized I need to get the stream started before I go inside any area, because I can't take that box. It looks too crazy. People are going to think something wild about me. But either way, I was trying to get the whole thing set up, guys. It was not fucking working out. And then the dude who's like the host of the event, he comes like a minute or two after I start trying to set up my box. He comes through. He's like, hey, guys, we can't wait any longer. We got to get into this tequila, thing or whatever it is. I'm like, and it's literally just me and Rylee and one other couple. It's just 4 people. And I was just like, bro, like, I thought there was supposed to be 30 people here. It was 4 people, very intimate and, like, you know, together. So there's no low-key setting up my shit. He's, like, staring at me, pressing buttons on my live view. And then he's like, we got to get started. I'm like, yo.
And it's super dark as fuck, so Yuri's shit is all, like, glowing and stuff.
Exactly, dude. You see, bro, you see all these wires and glowing and shit. And, bro, yeah, it just looked insane. And I was telling him, like, yo, we have to wait for our friends, Vel and Brittany. He's like, no, we got to get started already. So he just fucking gets started. And, guys, I saw people in the comment section were telling me, like, oh, Yuri's just uncultured and he's an idiot and immature and doesn't understand what a wine tasting or a tequila tasting is. But that shit was boring, dude. Like, let me know if I'm wrong, babe. But that shit was... Maybe it's because I was stressed out.
You were too stressed. It would have been fun if, like, everything was,
if
like,
I was on
together.
stream, it would have been interesting, yeah.
Yeah, you would have liked it. You would have had a totally different perspective, I think. But you were just in a badass mood, stressed.
I was hella stressed.
He was so mad.
And it's like, dude, and, like, people think that, you know, whenever I'm late to streams, that I'm just, like,
No.
giggling in a corner,
He's
playing
not,
playing
'cause-
Game Boy SP, going, I'm 10 minutes late, LOL. It's like, no, bro, guys, every time
He's
I'm late to a
freaking out.
stream, ask Rylee. Like, she doesn't even like talking to me because I get so stressed out. I'm like...
I can't.
Yeah, like, she doesn't, like, I'm telling you, she doesn't want to talk to me, especially when I'm late to a stream. Like, bro, I know, like, my priority is to go live. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, my thing is I want to go live. And if things aren't working out and I'm 10 minutes late, the stress just doubles and triples. And I'm just like, bro, now it's fucking 15 minutes. People are spamming Scamonius. People are saying, you know, this. I'm just like, I'm so stressed out.
You know
At that
they're
point,
just fucking with you most of the time, though, right?
I know, but even if they weren't trolling me and fucking with me, like, still the idea that I'm saying, hey guys, we're starting at 6 p.m. and we start at 6:10. It's like, bruh.
A
Like,
lot
just
of
start
things are like that, though. Even in the theater, like, a show starts at 7, but you know it's not starting until 7:15.
That's kind of true.
So
That's
it's
kinda
like...
true. Only thing you could expect on time is a TV show.
Exactly.
That's like pre-filmed and all that shit.
People have to
Scheduled.
understand, like, things like that happen. It's like that was none of your... You didn't think that was going to happen. You thought you were solid and cool.
Yeah.
You know?
And
but that's the trial and error. That's why you're working and trying to do all these streams, practicing with this thing.
That's the other thing I want to explain is it's all trial and error. And the last time I did the stream with Vel, where we went to the bar, Rylee was here at home on the computer, and she was like, I have to have 3 different portals open, guys, to go live on that live view thing, and someone has to, like, press go live on 3 separate portals, make sure everything's correct, and then it's really hard to do through a phone. And Rylee was doing that for the, you know, Vel, the one stream I did with Vel, where we went to the bar
And the escape room.
and it went well, you know what I mean? Like,
And also, you effed both times in both streams, and you didn't even know you effed.
Oh, really?
And I remember I called you, and I was like, "You effed."
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
"What? I did both times."
And then you had to tell me,
I
like,
had
to
to
restart
tell you, and
it.
I had to restart everything from my end.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, yeah, you kind of need someone on the back end, and I try to do everything through my phone, through my fucking Android phone, and it should have worked. Like, I had all 3 portals opened up. I pressed go live through all 3 portals, and it just wasn't working. My next option is, I forgot about this, and shout out to $47 for reminding me, but TeamViewer has an option where, I showed you this a long time ago, where you could control your computer through your phone, and I forgot about that. So the next time I go live in the streets, hopefully maybe Rylee will be home just in case something goes wrong, but I'm going to try to, like, use TeamViewer to control my computer from whoever I'm from to go live on the thing. Bro, guys, it's so complicated, but it's fucking worth it. I'm telling you, it's so much better. And it just streams from phones are just, the quality is literally, like, the average is 480p. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to get a high quality stream on a phone, unless you're using some sort of Android phone, have really good service and all that stuff. But either way, yeah. So I got way too stressed out. That stream was not working out. I went live on my phone eventually just to explain to everyone that was in the waiting chat, to explain to them, like, what's going on. And I went live for like 10 minutes, and I was just in such a bad mood that I was just like, bro, I was like, I don't want to be live anymore. Like, I was like, I'm hopping off live, and I just ended the stream and deleted it.
But thankfully for Brittany, she saved the night.
Yeah.
She suggested for everybody to come through.
Yeah,
to the
shout out to
place.
Brittany for that. Because I was thinking about recommending it, but I was like, bro, I just wasted $50 for them.
You didn't waste it though, because they enjoyed, like, they had their shots. We got 3 shots for $25, so that's pretty good for a bar.
And that's also
and it's really good. It was really good tequila, so
that is true. It's like and
it was a cool vibe. We had a private section. Like,
it's $25 per person. You get, like, 3 shots, chocolate, popcorn, all this, shit. So it's kind of worth it compared to bar prices. But at the end of the day, it's like when I'm inviting Vel, like, bro, he's not on a random day. He's not trying to go to a tequila tasting. He's only going there because I hit him up and I was like, yo, let's go there for a stream. Like, this will be worth it. Like, this will be sick. And he goes there to spend his, his own money to do it. And then it's not working out. And then we don't even go live.
But guess what?
And that's where the whole stress is, like, really hitting me. I was like, bro, now I feel like an asshole. I just invited them and this shit just went to shit.
But guess what? Vel's he also does streams himself. And I'm sure he hasn't had perfect nights where everything went the way he thought it was going to go.
That's true.
And he's understanding. And everything worked out. We actually had a way better time just chilling at home.
That's true.
So
that was the other thing. That was really stressing me out. Of all the Mr. Complaint Monius over here, but the music was so loud, dude. Like,
which I did not mind, but I understand it's not everybody's vibe.
I don't understand how, like,
that's just how my family is. Like, we always have it like that.
And it's like, dude, like I kind of have the, like, where my sister's kind of like that as well.
Yeah, she is.
Where I'm just like, dude, like, for me, if I'm playing music, especially if I'm in a car, right, with, like, some homies driving and I'm the driver and I'm the DJ, I'm playing the music loud, but just loud enough to, like, if my homie says something in the back, I can hear him. You know what I mean? Like, yo, Yuri, like, blah, I can hear him. Unless we're all like, yo, this song's fire, then we're slapping it, right? But most of the time, I'm playing it just loud enough to be able to hear someone. But, like, to be in a room or a car where the music's so loud, you're like, Rylee, hey, blah, 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 blah. You're just like, huh?
I know.
And then the whole thing of where you're just you're like, huh? What? And then you say it again, you're like, huh? What? That whole back and forth, I'm just like, bruh, I just don't even want to talk. I'm like, bruh.
I remember.
I hate not being able to understand shit.
When my older sister, she finally got her driver's license, or finally got her first car, and she would, like, pick us up and drive us everywhere. And I was, like, little still. I think she was probably 18, so I was like 10. Mm-hmm. But she would full blast, and her shit was loud. And I would used to be like, Brittany, stop! I can't hear. Her shit would be smelling like weed. I'm like, are you serious? You're gonna go to jail. I'd be freaking out. And then I saw, like, this TikTok where it was like getting in my sister's car in, like, 2008, and it was just, like, hella garbage everywhere, just smelling like, get in the car, like, let's fucking go.
Honestly, I had the same.
I was like, yes.
I'm not sure if it's, like, maybe my heart has gone stronger or if I've just grown, but I remember when I was a kid and I would hop into my sister's car and they were blasting music, it would, like, vibrate my heart.
It would. It was like a different level.
I'd be telling them, I'll be like, bro, like,
I can't take it.
It feels like it's gonna give me a heart attack right now. But now I'm in the, like, I could stand next to a speaker and I'm fine.
I think it's just us not being developed enough.
Like, we're just little kids.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it felt like it was shaking my heart. I was like, bro, I feel like my insides are vibrating. Pause.
Maybe the speakers were just stronger. More bass.
Have you ever seen those videos of the dudes? Like, I think most of them are for Texas. The dudes who, like, get the crazy bass in their cars and they'll, like, take a towel and they'll put on a song and the towel's just fucking vibrating in the air. It can't even, like, fall because it's so much vibrations. And they're sitting in the car listening to the music. I'm like, bro, their eardrums are gonna fucking pop, bro. This is insane.
But it's funny because now I love it. I have to have my music full blast when I'm driving, except with you, because I can feel your energy. I can tell when it's a little too loud. Well,
especially it's like I feel like when Rylee and I are together and someone's playing aux, you're 80% aux. I'm like 20%. I might throw a little song on every now and then, but
unless you're connected,
it's mostly just you playing music. And after listening to so much Stunna Girl and like other female artists you play,
you act like that's the only person I play.
Well, a lot of your music is just like girl vibe shit. You know what I mean? I'm just like
girly vibes.
I'm like I feel it, but I'm just like, dude.
That actually kind of goes into a topic I wanted to bring up, where I seen a post. I think I pulled it up on there, under the neighborhood talk. Yep, right here. So I guess hella people have been saying that Doja Cat has her, like, verses are corny and mid. And I do not agree with that. I think her shit is fire.
Yeah, me too.
I think she's very, like, lyrically gifted.
Honestly, when I first heard of Doja Cat when she first came out, I wasn't the big fan of her or her music, but, like, listening to her shit through Rylee, I like am like I am a fan of like artistry. You know what I mean? Like when
Exactly.
people, and we can get into that conversation later, but I'm a fan of artistry where I can appreciate something based on the art that's in it. You know what I mean? Like I can look past the types of shit that they're trying to depict or whatever it is, just to be like, okay, this is what they're trying to show. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I get it. I don't like it, or I do like it, whatever. You know, like I just want to understand it at the end of the day. And I have to say, after listening to a lot of her songs, I do appreciate it. But also, when you have artists, like, this is a question that always pops in my head with Doja Cat or whoever it is. When you have artists such as big as Doja Cat with songs that she makes like that are on the radio all the time, I'm like,
you put the intro.
oh shit! Sorry guys. I'm gonna get rid of the intro just in a second. But whenever I hear those songs of like, you know, those super poppy, super popular songs, I'm like, she's writing the lyrics probably, right? You know, maybe some people have people helping them with their lyrics, but who's coming up with all the melodies and like the part where it becomes slow-mo and she starts making a weird noise, but it really goes with it? I'm like, is she at home like coming up with all this? You know what I mean? Like,
I do think some people are naturally gifted with having a thing for melodies, like they could hear it in their head. Remember that show I used to watch? I forgot what it was called.
Masked Singer?
No, it was like it was a show where they're trying to get. It was like a competition show. They had like 3 judges, and it was like about writers, and they were trying to like pitch a song.
Yeah, I remember.
And stuff, and like.
And the basically what Riley's talking about, like a show where a person would come with a song, they would sing their song, and the 3 judges would be like, they would choose some songs that they fuck with, and they would try to make it better.
They would also bring on a guest, and whoever was the winner, the artist was going to perform their song.
Oh yeah, that as well.
So,
and they were big artists.
Exactly,
too.
like they had like the Jonas Brothers. I think Miguel, like hella random people.
But then actually, Riley's bringing up a good point, because I remember we were watching an episode out of the show, and like
some people had it and some people did.
Some dude, he did like have a good song that they were fucking with, but then she took. One of the judges was like, hey, in the chorus, like instead of like doing this, you should do. I just like did like a weird ass thing where he was like, okay, and then it just made way more sense.
Exactly.
But that's just like that weird shit where. I'm not a musician at all to even understand how you come up with those types of ideas.
But it's a whole group that kind of like pitches in together. Like, you know, like you could see they would do like certain workshops throughout the whole week where they change like little random things about the song. And it just makes sense. It's like there's like one straight idea and they just kind of play off it.
Yeah. I feel like this kind of also has to do with this topic where we were like, Riley and I were watching some video about Jack Black and how he's like a good physical actor. He's really good at like moving his body with all that stuff. And I feel like some people, due to anxiety or whatever it is, it's like they're kind of scared to be a little bit too like do like certain things with their body because they'll be like too insecure or whatever it is. And I feel like I'm that way with my voice where I'm not ready to hop on a track and be like, someone tells me like, do instead, and I'm like, it's so awkward and hard, bro. I feel like being like more free with like your voice on how you try to and be serious about it, like actually sing your heart out and try to be serious, and someone tell you like, do it like this instead, and you're like, bro, I just bled my heart into that song right there. Let me do it again. Okay,
exactly.
You know, like, and that's where it gets like super weird. Like, I feel like I don't know how. Like Riley was listening to this girl. What's her name? The really short girl.
Oh, Lola Brooke.
Lola Brooke, where Lola Brooke is this tiny ass girl, but she's does this thing with her voice that like emphasizes it. You know.
Don't play with it.
And she's like in the studio. Like,
I'm like, damn, that comes out of her body.
And she's in the studio like emphasizing her voice, doing this thing. You know what I mean? I'm just like. It just comes with a certain type of like voice confidence where like you're able to just play with your voice and not care what people think.
That's why I like Stunna Girl too. She has that confidence, but she's so tiny, you know, like it's all about the confidence, I think. And Doja Cat obviously has hella confidence, and that's why her shit's fire.
And I feel like she is good with the lyrics.
I get where they're saying corny and shit because they probably go back to Moo, like all her like little random poppy things. But at the end of the day, like if you go through all her music, she is very talented.
Moo was definitely like hella simplistic and shit. It
was like a viral thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But also a random piece of news here, guys. Maybe we should take a shot at it. I don't know. But I heard, this is where I was confused on the No Jumper news stream, like the last time I was on. But I saw that Donald Trump was arrested, and or he turned himself in. And I thought he was like behind bars, but no, he turned himself in. Now he's out of bars, so he's like still being arraigned, like he's like on bail type shit or something like that. I was confused about this. I thought he was permanently behind bars until the shit gets settled. But no, he's out, guys, and looks like former President Donald Trump pulled up to UFC 287, where he took photos with a lot of people, with Dana White, the owner of UFC, and UFC just did a giant contract working with WWF or whatever it is. And then that was not the only person. It was like Gideon was over there. This thing says Yak. Was Kodak Black there too? I don't know. I didn't say anything about Kodak Black being there, but Gideon sees him coming. He's like, "What the fuck? This is insane." He ends up taking a photo with him. I think it's in the last slide. There you go. He ends up taking a photo with him.
He looks like a wax figure.
And that's what Rylee was saying. She's like, he doesn't even look real.
Dude.
When you're that old, it's like
he's so spray tanned.
Yeah, he's probably spray tanned. You got makeup on, the full fake teeth, the toupee. Wasn't his hair orange? Now it's all white.
He's getting old though. That's sad. Everybody's getting old.
Dude, the one person that really bums Rylee out about getting old is fucking Jack Black. Whenever I put on a video of Jack Black with his white beard and shit,
cry
Riley's
a
like,
little bit.
He's so old now. I'm like, bro, what do you expect? People just get old.
I just hate it.
But also, yeah, here's the photo academics
God.
took with him. Oh shit!
I'd be scared to meet him. He's scary.
Big Akin, Big 4-5, aka Uncle Trump. This is crazy, dude. I wonder what the interaction was. I wonder if Donald Trump knew who academics was. I wonder if he was just like, yes, hip hop commentator. I know you.
No, he does not. Lil Pimp.
Lil Pimp, I know. He did free Lil Wayne, or gave Lil Wayne a pardon, and gave Kodak Black a pardon. I feel like there's a chance he would know who academics is.
Damn, that'd be crazy. Maybe. Because ACT does report on him. Reported on a lot of this shit.
Also, just like, I don't know, like being as old as Donald Trump is, like, I feel like at a certain point, doesn't matter, guys, like excluding your political alliances and all that stuff, let's just say you're a 70-year-old person who has millions of dollars, you know? You're probably trying to spend your days, like, going out to a show, you know, chill, do some stuff, and, like, I don't know, kick it. But, like, but apparently he's running for presidency as well, again.
He's cray-cray.
I don't know. This is crazy.
That picture's insane.
Why does it feel so, like, weird, like, as if we've never seen Donald Trump go out to an event? Because we would have seen photos like this come out. Like, why does it feel like this is the first time?
I feel like it's not. Hasn't he been to, like,
he
a
for sure
UFC
has.
thing before?
He's a celebrity. Like, I feel like he's been to hella shit before, but, like, why is it this is the time where we see all these photos come out?
Just because, like, we haven't... I don't know.
Maybe it's because he, he like loosened up his security, or he's like, all right.
Nah, he had like the full Secret Service with him,
really?
Kind of thing.
Well, you get it as soon as you become president.
Forever.
The rest of your life, like not just you, your family gets Secret Service and all that shit. It's very expensive. Wait, honestly, we should I forgot to bring it up on Instagram as like a thing to show you guys, but this is a good topic about how, you know, every president gets the Secret Service until they die type shit. And apparently so do their family members as well. I think like close family members, like children and wife or something like that. But like they fuck with you and they protect you basically until you die forever. Or like to a certain extent. And that costs, I can't even imagine how much Secret Service costs. I remember when No Jumper had that private security on Melrose, and I heard how expensive that was. Secret Service is probably 5 times more expensive. I'm like, I can't even imagine paying for that type of shit. But that comes out of our tax dollars. And actually, I'm not sure if I pulled it up or not, but I saw this post about how the IRS wants to hire. Oh, here we go. I do have it, guys. So the IRS is planning to spend $80 billion to hire 30,000 employees. Isn't that crazy? Does that not seem insane to you? And it says that, like, just for this 1 year period of 2023 to 2024, they're going to spend $8.6 billion to hire 8,700 people. So, you know, this is just like, I feel like this is just a really good, and I know this is IRS, this has to do with finance, this has to do with, like, you know, accounting and all the, you know, taxes. Like taxing with numbers and dealing with numbers, and like those types of people or those types of jobs, they get paid a lot of money. But I feel like this is just a really good example of how the government is just trash. It just
And like they just use our money in horrible ways.
they just completely fucking spend our money, and then you drive through the streets of LA, there's potholes everywhere.
Right.
There's homeless people. You know, they're saying they're helping the homeless people, but they're really just profiting off the shit. You know, all this shit. Just like, bro, the mismanagement of money is like really the one thing that I feel like people should really be attacking in this country. But we're like worrying about so many other things. You know what I mean? Like the whole LGBTQ plus thing is like a constant argument with like many different talking points, abortion and like all this different stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, we're all still getting fucked at the end of the day by the governments.
I think that's 100% true.
In hella different ways, you know what I mean? Like, and we should focus more on that. It's like, what's his name, Louis Rossman, from YouTube. He like does the whole thing about the right to repair. How like back in the day, you buy a car, you own that car, you can work on that car, you can do whatever you want to that car. Nowadays it's like there's more and more companies trying to push this like monthly charge shit, you know what I mean? Like where Mercedes did it, where they, you know, sell you $100,000 electric car, and guess what, you can't use the full capabilities until you pay another
Monthly fee,
$1,000 a month, you know what I mean, like to unlock the full capabilities of a car. BMW, luckily they were told they can't do this, but BMW is trying to sell cars that come with seats that were able to, you know, heat up and give you like seat heating abilities, but you couldn't activate it unless you paid $25 a month. It's like that type of shit. It's just like,
yeah, that's so stupid.
Weird shit where it's like, bro, like what happened to people being able to own their own shit, work on their own shit? I don't know, just like exclusive values that, or rights that come to a human being, that are just constantly being fucking questioned and ruined. Okay, I have this opened up, so I guess we should just get right into this. This has been a big, news piece recently where YouTuber who visits the most dangerous places on earth has been captured by the Taliban in Afghanistan. And I don't know, this is a weird story because it's like Rylee and I watch a lot of traveling YouTubers who, they literally, you know, for example, Harold Balder, who we watch, and Harold Balder, his whole, like, the point of his YouTube videos is he specifically goes to areas that are told to you to be dangerous,
right.
And he wants to educate people and tell them like, hey, don't be scared of Mexico, it's fucking chill, it's nice, you know what I mean, like as long as you're not an idiot, it's cool. Like don't be scared of Iraq, it's fine, like everyone's nice, you know. He actually shows you to be more accepting and like, you know, open-minded of people, and like, you know, be a little bit more smarter with the moves you make. And but then also, you know, this dude is arrested. I forgot, I don't know his name, but I probably says somewhere right here, the writing's just too small. But they call people like him like dangerous travelers, or like or I forgot what the word for it is, but they travel to dangerous locations for views and clicks.
Yeah.
Which is like, and then when they get caught and get stuck in situations like this, it's like, bro, like you're dumb. Why'd you even go do that? You know? Well,
yeah, I was gonna say like Harold Balder and like Bolden Bankrupt. I feel like they're always super respectful and like just wanna get the culture captured on camera. And then once I saw his clips, like where he was like shooting a fucking gun, like machine gun, I was just like, bruh, like that's just doing too much. Like you should just automatically know they're not gonna mess with that, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just like how, like, just, it's not worth that. Like, it's like obviously.
But that clip
was such a hot place to travel to. And
exactly.
It's like, dude, you have to be just super chill, respectful.
But he didn't get in trouble for shooting the machine gun. Rylee's talking about this clip where he was like,
I'm just saying that's just more attention to you, where it's just like,
yeah.
Oh, he's acting like a fucking fool in our country.
Well, like in that, well, yeah, maybe, but in that country, it's like, it wasn't even Iraq, it's Kabul. In Kabul, it's like they're just scared of journalists, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Same thing in Iraq, where like they don't really fuck with journalists. Like you can get thrown in jail or even die for being a journalist and saying the wrong thing. So they're just super aware of people who have cameras and mics and want to document shit. And I feel like that's what he got arrested for. But the reason why I bring this up is like people are calling him there we go. It's called a danger tourist. Like people are calling him a danger tourist and all that stuff. And Rylee is bringing up a good point with that clip where it seems like he's going a little bit too far, but if that's their culture, you know what I mean, like where they're shooting guns into the air and all that stuff, and they're like, yo, here, try it out. He's like, all right, you know what I mean, let me be it.
They're not going to want other people from other countries doing that.
But let me show you.
Because where was he from? Britain?
UK.
Yeah. And they had beef with the UK too?
Yeah.
So it's just like, nah.
Well, they have beef with like everyone.
Well, yeah, but it's just like.
But here's the interesting part: is like this dude, you know, he's kind of being shamed through the internet right now as a danger tourist. Like he deserved it. Like he kind of fucked up. But actually, he kind of deserves it because I didn't see this. I think Scarce made a video about this. How this dude was in Kabul or in Iraq when the Taliban was taking over, taking everything over, and he literally was saved by the UK army, where they came in to evacuate hella people from the fucking from the war-ridden area. So they evacuated him, and then he returned to the place where they evacuated him from to film content, which seems kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's where like people were like, oh, you kind of deserved it. But here's the interesting part though: is there's this dude named Simon Wilson, and I would say like he's
very respectful.
Very respectful, right? He's not like, I wouldn't say he falls into the danger tourist thing, but he kind of does, because look at this. This video, guys. Okay, so this post of this dude being arrested came out like 6 days ago, about a week ago. I think he was arrested like a week and a half ago, or apprehended by the Taliban. And this dude, Simon Wilson, posted this video 3 days ago. Is Iraq the world's most dangerous country? And he literally goes around with this dude, eats some food, and like does some stuff. And I enjoy this dude's videos every now and then. And I looked it up. I was like, how dangerous is, you know, both these places, Iraq and Kabul, on the tourist traveling list? And it looks like Iraq is on a level 4, and Kabul is also on a level 4. So both those places are places you should not be traveling to. So it's like, it becomes this weird thing where it's like, I don't know, man. Is he begging to be saved? Like, if he's like in there going like, please guys, get me out of here, then it looks kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like, but if the UK is just like, oh, we gotta get his ass out, you know what I mean? Like, it still looks bad on him, but.
Well, they said that they just had contact with family, right?
Yeah, well, they said they finally have contact with families, and apparently
there's a couple people.
There's
from the
like
UK.
2 other people who have been apprehended like a long time before this, like months before this dude was. So he's like the third person to be apprehended, and who knows when he will even be released.
See, that's
the
what
dangerous
sketches
part.
me out about other countries. Like, that is a big ass fear. That's why I was so scared in Hawaii, even though it's not a different country.
I know.
I was like, oh my god, imagine being locked up like on this island.
I bet you their Hawaii jail is probably chill though.
You would
they give you
think
sushi
so.
rolls and a banana leaf.
I doubt that.
And you're just like, yes, you know, a little hula dance as they hand it over to you.
Oh no.
Oh,
hula dancers handed to you? I'm dead.
But it's like, yeah, the reason why I want to talk about this story is because it's like this weird thing where Rylee and I enjoy watching best food reviews ever, and he goes to places where he's like, this place is dangerous, I need a security guard, but we're eating these delicious meals, you know, like Simon, Harold Balder, Harold Balder, Bald and Bankrupt. It's like they all do these types of videos where the purpose of it is to show you that, yo, these places ain't too bad. You know what I mean? Like, the media makes it seem way worse than it is, and the media does do that a lot. But then
I think a lot of it is just theft. Like, if you're like balling and like have hella like flashy shit, people are gonna like try to pickpocket you or like try to rob you, and that's when it could get dangerous.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you're just a chill tourist, like, they want your business there, you know, like they want your money.
That's true. But you know what's interesting is the dude Simon who went to Iraq, he literally asked that. He put his camera on the table to film themselves eating, and he asked, like, he's like, am I good to put my camera here? Should I be worried of someone snatching it off the table? And the dude's like, no. And they were in a bad area too, and he's like, no. He's like, no one does that out here. You don't have to worry about that. And I was like, it just shows you how it's so funny how not LA, but like the United States media is so quick, you know, to be like, these places are so dangerous, don't go there, you know what I mean, like blah blah. And they're saying this because of political reasons, but then you walk through downtown LA and then you walk through fucking certain areas of other countries they tell you not to go to, you're probably gonna get mugged and beat up and stabbed in LA, you know, in downtown LA, and then over there you're gonna get a hello, where are you from, you know, like it's just it's kind of funny. And also, I brought this up before. That dude from Henry Rollins from Black Flag, he became like a traveler after his whole band thing, and he's like super super rich, so he can just afford to travel and all this shit. And he said that he's traveled like basically everywhere at this point. He's like an older man, and he's like he said the most dangerous place to him that he's ever experienced was Los Angeles, or you know, America. He said He's been to North Korea. He's been to everywhere you could think of. Jeez. And he said like the only time he's had a bad experience is in LA. And he said that in like the early 2000s or 1990, he like was in LA with his friend, and some dude mugged both of them and stabbed his friend to death.
Oh my god.
And he said like my homie died in LA or like in America or whatever it is, like on some random night, and he's like, I've never had an experience like that anywhere else. And he's been to hell, crazy areas.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. Especially after like Friday, was it, when we went to downtown LA?
That shit was scary.
Bro, that shit is no joke. And dude, also not only that, but the Hotel Cecil documentary, and I'm surprised Vel and Brittany haven't watched it, but if you guys haven't seen it yet, I would recommend to watch it. It's about this girl who like died in a water tower in the Hotel Cecil, and about how she got in there in the first place. But in the documentary, they literally talk about how she's not from America. She's like from Canada, I think, and she came to LA to like stay and travel, and she ended up staying at the Hotel Cecil because it was like recommended to her on Google or something. And the dude was like, bro, this area is surrounded by drug addicts and like gangs and thieves and all this shit. And then Rylee and I are driving through there the other day. I'm like, bro, that 21-year-old girl was walking around here by herself as a tourist. Like, that's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
People really got to be careful, dude. There's so many, dude. You guys, you could stay in the valley. You could stay.
It is expensive to stay out here.
No, not to live permanently.
No, I know, but at a hotel, it's expensive to stay.
There's places in the valley that are way cheaper than downtown LA, and you could stay.
The Cecil though is probably like $20 a night.
No, it's probably like literally. There's I've stayed at a really cheap hotel in the valley before, and it was like $50 a night.
That's good.
Oh my god. But actually, before we get into the other topics, we should talk about the movie we watched the other day, because I've been thinking about this, where when we first started 10 Talks, we said that we would do movie reviews, like every episode, at least like a section, where we'd watch one movie throughout the week and talk about it, and I feel like we should do that.
Okay.
I chose this week's movie, obviously.
Always.
You should choose next week's movie.
Oh, thank you for the honor.
Oh, what do you mean? We always do this where we flip.
Okay.
We always do that when we
barely.
You're like, you chose last week, so I choose this week.
No, after like 5 times of you choosing, because you're
God.
always like, I really want to watch this movie.
Let's take the shot really quick before we get into this. But cheers.
Oh God.
I want to talk about a couple things first, though. The other movie first.
What other movie?
So guys, a long time ago, I forgot how old I was. Like, it was like 6 years ago or 7 years ago. I broke my ankle, and I was bedridden. Basically, like I had to keep my leg elevated for like 5 or 6 months, dude. I was just stuck at home for 5 or 6 months with the broken ankle and a cast and shit. And that whole time, I just was watching hella YouTube videos and like watching movies, and obviously it's like whenever you're injured and you're stuck at home, you get hella depressed and all this shit as well, because you just can't do shit. But at that point I was watching like a bunch of different movies, and at one point I was like finding out it snowballed from this, where there's a video platform called Vimeo, and then I realized on Vimeo, I forgot how I found it, but there was all these submissions for movie festivals, and it was like animated clips that were supposed to be up to 3 minutes long, and people will make these animated clips, post on Vimeo, and it gets submitted to this like movie festival, and they choose a winner or whatever it is. And some of these 3-minute animated clips were so good, like they're hella heart wrenching and like really cool and all that, and like really good animations and all that stuff. And through that, I started finding out about like movie festivals, like different ones, and then I started looking up like what movies have been entered, what movies have won, and all that shit. And that's how I found the movie Videodrome, which is like a really weird, interesting movie with I forgot his name, something Woods. But then also I found the movie called Funky Forrest: The First Contact, because I think it won some like I think the Sundance Movie Festival, or like some movie festival that I found, and it basically said like the winner was Funky Forrest: The First Contact. And I was just like I said, I'm interested in the artistic aspect of things, where I want to find out why things are popular, or why things are enjoyed, or why people fuck with shit, So when I saw that movie, it was 2.5 hours or 3 hours long, I was like, fuck it, I'm watching this thing just to see what the hell's going on. I watched that whole movie, and it's weird as fuck, guys. It has no point to it. It basically is like a bunch of random short stories that get weird, really fucking weird at some points, and it just doesn't fucking make sense at all. And I was telling Rylee, I was like, we should watch this movie. You gotta watch it. And I tried to show it to her, and like 10 minutes in, she's like, babe, I'm not gonna do it.
I'm like, I don't think I could do this. It was 2.5 hours long, dude, and it was just like.
It's in Japanese too.
Like, I'm all for foreign film.
Yeah.
But that was just not it for me. Like, no, it was just too.
It's
weird.
weird.
It was too weird.
And I don't like I said, I watched it a long time ago,
For
so
me,
I don't remember.
personally.
I didn't remember everything, but I was like trying to skip through, trying to show Rylee certain like scenes that I remembered, and I was like, some of these scenes like they were skipping past. I was like, these are hella sexual, weird scenes
With like little girl, and it was really. I was just like, I feel uncomfortable. Like,
yeah, I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, I remember this movie being like, this fucking weird, but
yeah.
I do remember like I found out about that movie. I was just like, what the fuck? Like this is. But anyways, I tried to show it to Rylee. She was not into it, and then I was just like, all right, whatever. I give up on this. But it's a weird ass movie. And apparently, there's another movie. There's like
Funky Forest 2.
Funky Forest 2, which
God.
I've thought about watching, but I haven't watched it yet.
It never ends.
But after Rylee was like, I'm not fucking with that movie. Basically, let's watch
I was
something
like,
else.
we gotta do something else.
I remember this movie I watched a long time ago, which is a movie called The Devil's Double, and Rylee never seen it, and I saw it
Never heard of it.
and I saw it a long time ago, probably like when it came out, like literally like way before No Jumper and YouTube and all that shit. Like I watched it a while ago, and I remember it being a interesting movie where I did not think it was a bad movie at all. I thought it was a really good movie that showed you the perspective of different people
This
in certain
happens
positions.
to Yuri all the time.
And Rylee, okay, give your perspective on the movie. What did you think of
I
it?
just thought it was like corny. Like,
Why
it was
was it
just
corny?
so corny. Like, the acting was corny. The storyline really didn't make sense. Like, so pretty much it's okay. You explain like the storyline.
So basically, the
son of
Saddam Hussein, right, was like in power,
Yes.
and he had two sons, and one of his sons was like this normal chill dude, and the other son was this crazy fucking like sex obsessed, like drug fueled maniac, and he was like
He was a
probably
psycho.
Yeah, he was kind of like a psycho. He probably had like mental issues, but that was one of his sons, and the movie's basically about that crazy son, how in political power and all that stuff, they were talking about how like everyone has a double. Everyone needs to have like, if you ever got to go do some shit where it's a little bit dangerous, you send the double in, because just in case they kill him, you're still alive, And so he basically the movie starts off where he meets up with his like old classmate when he was like in elementary. He went to school with this dude, but now he stole him off the street, and he was basically saying, hey man, you look exactly like me. I'm gonna do a couple surgical adjustments and you're gonna be my double, and your options are you're either gonna die and I'm gonna kill your whole family, or you're gonna do this. And
So,
those were his options.
So that's my first thing. He's supposed to be the double, right?
Uh-huh.
But the whole time, this fool is going around with the double and like talking to all these people, introducing his double as his brother, and then like whenever like there's an important situation, the double goes out as him. I'm just like, everybody know, like, you guys look different. You guys don't look exactly the same.
I didn't want to say
I was like,
it.
that's the biggest flaw. And That's
Okay.
supposed to be the whole movie.
No, that's a good point. I didn't want to bring it up during the movie because I don't remember. Like I said, I watched this a long time ago. But as we were rewatching it, I was realizing like he's supposed to be the secret double, and they're literally going all around town, fucking together. And he's just, it's like someone's gonna look and be like, "Why is there two president's sons?" You know what I mean? Like it kind of didn't make sense. You're right.
Second flaw, the crazy guy.
What? Oh, wait, the son.
He has like all these different women, his hoes or whatever, and apparently like the biggest rule is like you cannot be with any of his girls, and like he has this main girl, and she looks like Russian. Like, I don't know what she is, but she kind of sounded British. I don't know what she is, but she looked like a Russian girl. And the double ended up getting with her, and I'm just like, that was his main girl, and like there is no conflict, but everybody also knows like they're kind of together.
But remember, a lot of spoilers, guys. But towards the end of the movie, she ends up being like a mole. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So like I think he was like, she was an implant the whole time.
She still really liked him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she started as a mole, but then she ended up really liking him.
I think that okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this movie was so like
that
weird.
loophole. No, that loophole can be covered with the fact that she was a mole the whole time, for sure.
Whatever.
But I just feel like it really showed like a crazy perspective where even before this, the reason I watched this movie is because like the whole Saddam Hussein thing was like a big deal at the time and all that shit, and everything that was going on. But I remember hearing stories or like seeing news articles or some shit like that about how the royal family out there, they just be like driving around like snatching girls off the streets, like, hey, I like her, let's go.
My third flaw.
You know,
I hate watching shit like that. That's just my personal thing.
And shit like that. And there was a couple fucked up scenes where he basically just driving around and he just like snatching girls off the street. And there was one fucked up scene where he literally, they go to a wedding and then he's like looking at the wife. He's like, yo, the wife's hella hot, huh? He's like, you think I should fuck her? He's like, I'm a fuck her. And then he's like, let's go. And he just takes the wife on her wedding day and basically rapes her. And it was like,
she's all bloody and shit. It was so fucked up.
It's hella fucked up. And
that's another thing. Like, I just hate movies like that
with super vivid shit. And also, this gets into the conversation that Rylee and I were having about how, this movie, along with a couple other movies I've recommended, they tend to have, but I don't think they tend to have. But I feel like, some movies that I recommend that I think are really good are, they have some sex scenes in them or whatever it is. And I was telling Rylee, I was like, dude, I feel like really good movies portray real life. You know what I mean? Like, and you show things that happened and can happen or will happen.
And
and it's like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. I'm just saying, Yuriy always okay, so Yuriy wants to bring this up. Okay. And I'm just saying that I've obviously watched hella movies with the sex scenes, like a lot of sex scenes, but I've never, like, Yuriy always recommends some movie and it has like these crazy ass sex scenes.
It just enters the void.
I always give him a hard time where I'm just like, of course you recommend this, where it's just like 5 minute straight on long scenes. Where it's like all the movies I've seen, it's kind of like maybe a little back angle, like not full, like
back angle,
like a little sheep pool, not like crazy, like titties out, ass clapping.
That was Enter the Void, which is
there's multiple movies you've showed me. But I don't know why you're bringing this up, but okay.
But I was just saying, like, also like
because I give him a hard time about it.
City of God, really good movie, right? And there's like 2 sex scenes in it, but it's mostly about. And I really, I don't really relate with this movie like on that crazy level, but I related with the fact that it's about a bunch of young kids who are just doing a bunch of fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Like, and they're just like stealing and smoking and drinking, and then it follows them to like the older ages, and then you start seeing like people die and like doing crazy, making crazy decisions and all that stuff. And obviously I wasn't on some shit like that, but all my homies were just like a pack of devious little kids, just like stealing and smoking weed and drinking and shit. So that's why I was like, it's a good movie. Either way, guys, next topic.
So what was your point? Like, why were you bringing that up?
That it adds to the artistic value of showing realism.
Sometimes it's forced though.
But also, I was telling Rylee how like this is a movie trope where like it's not a meme as in you're gonna see it on Instagram, but it's kind of like a meme in the movie industry where they say how a lot of good movies or a lot of big movies, they just always have to add a sex scene because sex sells. You know what I mean? Like some movies, like
sometimes Game of Thrones was getting like that though, where it was like there was just like so many random little sex scenes.
But not even just it doesn't have to be a sex scene, but a lot of movies add romantic like tension, even though there's not supposed to be it at all. You're just because romance and sex sells.
Yeah, like the Harry Potter Hermione story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like shit like that.
Everybody just wants that sexual attention.
It's like I'm here to watch the movie about the devil's double. I don't care that his double is fucking the girl that he's
little 18-year-old Yuriy was not tripping. I'm sure. Okay.
Bro, okay. All right. I want to get your perspective on this because I feel like this is interesting.
This is my point with that shit. I was just trying to say this is what the movies you like to watch growing up.
No, that's not true.
And so I was just like, okay, and there's just a difference between the shit we've watched.
I showed you Spirited Away.
Okay, that's like one of the first things you showed me.
There's a movie I wanted to show you called Here and Then, There and Now, which is like another anime a movie that's really good. I showed you Poya.
You love titties.
No, I do love titties. Your titties. But it's like... There's hella movies I showed you that don't have any sex scenes at all, and the ones that do have sex scenes, you're like, of course, you titty fiend.
I have to.
I'm like,
I'm your girlfriend.
Okay, whatever. Well, that was the conversation there behind that.
Thanks, babe.
Why thanks? Okay, babe. I'm really curious about your your opinion here because
My topic?
Your topic here, or your opinion. Well, like honestly, I just want to talk about this because I feel like this is interesting. Florida teacher has been fired for making students write about dying in a school shooting, and he says he did nothing wrong. So this is, just to give you context, this is a high school, right? So this is in high school. This teacher came into class and he told his students, hey guys, we're gonna write a hypothetical story of like you know, how like basically he wanted the children to like appreciate, you know, like those like corny movie tropes where like appreciate the little things in life. Like I feel like he was trying to show the kids something like that, where he was like, you can die any day now. You know what I mean? Like, what would you be appreciative of, like right now, if you passed away tomorrow in a school shooting? The fact that he included school shooting is kind of insane. But like, I feel like this is a good philosophical question. Let me read this. It says, a Kent, Florida high school teacher claims he didn't do nothing wrong when he had students write their own obituaries during an active
I did see this
shooting drill. Psychology teacher. Oh, so he's a psychology teacher who is appealing his termination from Dr. Phillips High. Told Fox 35 he wanted to teach the students about how to stay safe during an emergency drill while also trying to tying in lessons in his class. Oh wait, so this was in the middle of a school shooting?
Wait, at their school? That's what I was gonna ask. Like, was it their school shooting at their school, and then he asked them to write this?
So he said, it says, if they died 24 hours from now, what would they do differently?
No.
And they did yesterday, and that has to get rid of all the fluff and shows them what's important in the world. Keane said, listen, wait, hold on, let me reread the first part. It says, when he had students write their own obituaries during an active school drill. Oh, drill.
Okay.
So this is during an active school drill, and he had the kids write their own obituaries. That's hella fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
But I do not. Okay, obituary is a little dramatic. Like, write a little narrative, like journals, like journal, like, you know, like every morning or like every class you would have to write a journal sometimes, like for English or something. I could understand that because school shootings are obviously like a real thing and it's happening all the fucking time, unfortunately.
And also the idea of talking about death is a good thing.
Exactly. So it's like I would understand. Like, I, as a parent, I don't think I would be like, that's fucked up or that's weird. Like, I guess it's kind of like a conversation because it does happen, and some kids need to express their emotions. So like, even if he like offers like to read their journals out loud after, like, that's a conversation starter for people to like learn more and like talk about it. And he's probably a cool teacher where he's,
and honestly, it's like
the obituary is a little dramatic. Like,
it is. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of an extreme and crazy way of doing it. But guys, it's like, that is the beauty of the world, dude. Is like, sometimes you talk to certain people where they're like, bro, I had some crazy ass teachers, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm glad for it. Like, we just watched the whole thing about Jackie Chan, right? And I saw this other clip about Jackie Chan talking about his teachers back when he was a kid, and he said that they would be fucking him up. He said they'd beat me, they would slap me with rulers. He said they would give me no slack, they would really fuck me up and like really mentally abuse me or physically abuse me. And he's like, guess what? I got $352 million in the bank and I'm successful as fuck, and I thank them every day for it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people, like, you know, even my dad talks about it, where my dad says how strict his dad was, and he's like, he told me like his dad, like my dad is super strict, and he told me his dad was like insane with the strict level, and he's like, bro, every day he's like, I thank him for it because he's like, I'm so reliable, I know how to fix my own shit, you know, like blah, blah, like all this shit, just like sometimes dealing with like tough questions is you know, or tough things is a good thing. And like, those kids could honestly say, you know, I don't want to participate in this fucking thing, you know, call my parents, I'm not doing this, you know, I mean, this is a little too extreme for me or whatever it is. But it is like, I feel like a good practice at the end of the day. It's like, I don't know, sometimes you have to have those crazy teachers who take it a little bit too far for you to really learn a lesson. And then this is not really just learning a lesson, this is really thinking about life and death, where I feel like I spent a good amount of time. Like, I remember the day where it was like 5th grade or 6th grade summer break. I was like at home, and every summer break I got like hella depressed because I was just away from my friends, you know, like I didn't have shit to do. FOMO. It was kind of like, people think summer break's the best, but I was like, I dreaded summer break. I was like, I'm not gonna see my homies for a whole like 3 months or 4 months. But I remember during one summer break, like, I really finally realized, like, damn, bruh, like, I'm gonna die, my parents are gonna die, my sisters are gonna die, everyone I know and love is gonna die at one point or another. We're all just gonna be gone. You know, like, that thought really finally hit me when I was like a kid, and I got so fucking like scared and depressed. I was just like hella like anxiety ridden and all this shit. And in other cultures, you know, they've been talking about death. They've been taught, like, you're gonna die one day, God's gonna fucking take you back to heaven, or what, like, however they teach their kids, like, death has to be a part of the conversation. And I've seen people talk about how in the United States no one talks about death. It's like it only pops up once someone dies, you know, the whole funeral service happens, and then that's it. No one ever really mentions or talks about death, or, you know, dying or anything like that, where we have to be a little bit more understanding of it, that we're all going to pass away someday, you know, and not to be so materialistic. It's like, when I was a kid, I probably fucking loved my Game Boy more than anything, you know what I mean? Like, but if you explain to me, like, as a kid, like, bro, you're going to die tomorrow, and then your Game Boy is gonna what? Your parents are gonna sell it on eBay for $50. You know what I mean? Like, or some shit like that. It's like, it's like, bro, like, you know, like, you have to, like, learn to not attach yourself to material items, not attach yourself to certain things. You know, learn how to separate yourself and live life happier and shit like that. And I feel like this is a good study, but to do it on a high school class is kind of insane. Oh shit! But I don't know. I don't think he should be terminated. I feel like those kids should just be taken out of his class. You know. The parents should just be like, yo, I'm not fucking with Teacher Joe. He's kind of a weirdo, you know, or something like that. But, yo, guys, this is an interesting update. You want to bring it up?
I don't care.
Rylee says she doesn't care. 6ix9ine. I was not surprised to see this, but 6ix9ine says he's suing LA Fitness because they didn't do anything to protect him. And this is like a weird argument, because it's like, dude, I've had there
is not security up in LA Fitness.
Yeah, like, there's no security in LA Fitness. And honestly, okay, here's where he kind of has a lawsuit. Because in the video of the two attackers coming in, one of the attackers was already working out there. So I'm just assuming he has a membership, right? Yeah. He was working out C6ix9ine. He C6ix9ine gets on the phone, and then he's talking on the phone. Then he goes to the front door, opens up the door for two dudes that come in from nowhere, right? They come in, and then the front desk lady, she like she's talking to some guy, like,
yeah, she didn't check them in.
She's helping some guy, and then he comes in, he like, you obviously can't hear him, but he literally does this thing where he like points at the both of them and goes like that, and like nods his head, and she's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So she just like let those two random dudes in, you know what I mean? Like, and he probably said like, hey, my friends are gonna use the bathroom, is that fine? Yeah. She's like, yeah, okay, just go use the bathroom. So, dude, she's probably being paid, you know what I mean, like close to minimum wage, above minimum wage. You expect her to be like some ultra security, like, you're not getting into this LA Fitness without like, a membership, buddy. It's like,
it's his fault for working out at such a public gym.
Honestly, bro,
like, that was so stupid.
LA Fitness could probably flip that argument. They'd be like, bro, you're a celebrity and you're working out at a public gym.
LA Fitness?
Yeah, get a dude.
Not even 24 hours.
He literally, like, immediately after this, he went to Cuba and gave away $50,000. With that $50,000, you could have got a private gym in your house and never had to deal with LA Fitness ever again.
He did that because he knew people were gonna go crazy.
But yeah, it looks like he's suing LA Fitness, and honestly, I feel like there's probably a lawyer that just got in his ear, and he's like, bro, this is an easy, you know, easy $5 million, bro. You just got beat up on camera in the bathroom, bro. You know, it's like, I don't know.
He's gonna probably win for sure. Because at the end of the day, it is their fault for letting those people in without a membership.
I wonder if this says anything about his financial state. It's like a real, you know, like Lil Baby was at, you know, the viral clip of Lil Baby at the jewelry store where the dude was like, he's like, hey man, I overcharged you by $250,000. My bad. He's like, you want me to refund you or keep it as store credit? And Lil Baby's like, just keep it as store credit. $250,000. So it's like, I feel like if Lil Baby got beat up at LA Fitness, that probably never happened. But if he probably would not sue LA Fitness because he's chilling. He doesn't even need the idea of going through the you know, judicial process of suing someone. Like, it's so stressful and annoying. You have to go to court cases, you know, meet with your lawyer, do all that stuff just to get some bread. Like, he's probably like, bro, I'm gonna go do some concerts and I'll be good. I feel like the fact that 6ix9ine is willing to go through that annoying lawsuit process to get some money means that he might not be making any money right now.
Yeah, he's making some.
Yo, speaking of making some money, I wanted to talk about this because I feel like no one really talks about like YouTubers. There's so many YouTube videos where people are like, I got a video that has 100,000 views, and here's how much, this is how much money I made. This is how much money I make as a YouTuber with 1 million subscribers. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to stay on that side, asshole. Thanks, Fluffy. But I feel like there's a lot of jobs where you can kind of give a good guess of how much people make and how often they get paid, all that stuff. Not to be like pocket watching, but just like on some general interest shit, like on some celebrity net worth, type thing. I saw this recent post where Diddy said that he's been paying Sting $5,000 a day, $3,000 to $5,000 a day for sampling their song, "I Miss You" or
"I'll Be Missing You."
"I'll Be Missing You" or something like that, right? And then Diddy later on confirmed. He said, "Hey, I was just trolling. I don't have to pay them any money." And he's like, Sting probably makes $5K a day easy with the legendary songs he has. And I was just kind of thinking, like, I feel like I've never really heard, people in the music industry talk about, like, what's the back end revenue on a fucking 10, 15, 20-year-old banger, or even a 5-year-old banger. It's like, what is, how much money do you make? What is, like, where's the money come from? But the fact that he's saying that he's making $5K a month off this song that's, like, 20 years old.
But I told you, like, it is in hella movies and stuff. Like, yeah, that's why.
Juice WRLD has sampled it. Diddy has sampled it. Yeah, some people sampled it. I was just like, damn, bro. Like, I wonder for songs, like Lil Peep fucking Star Shopping. Like, does that still to this day probably just bring in hella bread every day?
Yeah.
And I
don't know if it's 5K. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know these
That's what I'm saying.
numbers.
But it's so interesting to me because I'm like, bro, you never really hear people, like, I forgot what rapper it was, but there was this like one rapper where a lot of his top songs were from the early 2000s, and he still raps nowadays. And I heard in one of his recent songs, he's like, I'm still paying rent off songs I dropped in 2004. And I was like, damn, like, I didn't really think about that, but it's like, dude, like, that back end money must be insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're still paying rent off 2004 songs, that's fucking crazy.
That's true.
But also, that could be like his whole ass paycheck, where he's just like, it's the 2004 songs in total, and he's just like, that just pays my rent or whatever.
Hey, that's not bad though.
I don't know, but
I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick.
The idea of getting 5K a day off like a 20-year-old song is just crazy to me. Like, I'm wondering, the Michael Jackson family or whoever owns those song copyrights, any other, the Beatles. I know Michael Jackson bought the Beatles discography, but I'm just wondering about that shit. It's like, bro, I wonder what is the crazy back end money. And also a reminder, guys, Rylee went to the bathroom really quick, and I'm just opening up the chat. Just want to let you guys know. But huge shout out to everyone that's a part of these streams or a part of the 10 Talks episodes. I appreciate you guys so much. And I see someone in the chat named Lil Mike 641. He said it compiles over time. Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing that YouTube does, where other YouTubers have talked about how their main source of revenue is not like what I did in the past month. My source of revenue is my back 2 to 3 year catalog. You know what I mean? Like, everything I post in the past 2-3 years compiles into like X amount of money at the end of the month or whatever it is. Yuri Yamcam, no Yamcam. Also, reminder, guys, Rylee and I are going on a ladies' night on Tuesday, and I'm super excited. And then also tomorrow, I'm going on Nick Tucker's podcast, and I'm super fucking excited. I believe it's tomorrow, and I'm really excited for that, guys. Rylee's back, yay. Okay, we can get back into the news. All right, yeah, that's about all we had to say about for the whole 6ix9ine situation.
What?
This topic is kind of interesting because Rylee and I talked about, or I forgot what episode it was, but Rylee and I dedicated a whole episode to talking about SPM, right? The whole SPM situation.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I want to talk about this is because it kind of like overlaps us, like at least half of what's going on with him, right? There's like two things. This is at least half of what the hell's going on. SPM was dealing with the situation where he had gone to a strip club, right? And he ended up having sex with one of the strippers there. And she ended up being underage. She was grossly underage, in fact, and the main argument there is like, how could you not tell, blah, blah, all that stuff. But you could also easily say that when people or guys are going to strip clubs, they're usually incredibly intoxicated. They're off probably a couple other drugs. They're not making the best decisions, all that stuff. But I have to say this: when you're a guy going to a strip club, I never gone to a strip club, but when you're a guy going to a strip club, if I went to a strip club today, if I was like, yo, I'm finna go to a strip club, I'm not gonna go in there and think like, are these girls ID'd? Are they of age? I'm gonna just assume to work here, you have to be of age. It's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, Rylee and I had the whole discussion on the episode, like, I forgot what it was, like 7 or 13 of 10 Talks, where we talked about the whole SBM case. And this is an interesting post right here where it basically says
That's the last place you should think people are 18 working.
What,
strip clubs? Yes.
Oh yeah, that's true. But
that's the last
4
place.
Florida strip club workers arrested for human trafficking after 15-year-old stripped at strip club for years.
I know girls in high school who went to strip clubs. Strip clubs.
Yes, me too. I knew one girl. Like, and I didn't know her, but like I heard of this girl that I went to high school with that was also stripping at a Hollywood.
Oh my god!
A strip club in Hollywood
That's crazy.
at the age of like 15, 16. And I remember
girls would go to San Francisco.
I remember hearing this and thinking like, what? Like, how is this possible? But it's just like, bro, this shit's insane. It's like, and honestly, it's like anytime you involve like hella hyper horniness, you know what I mean, like into businesses, shit gets weird super quick. You know what I mean? It's kind of rare, dude, I feel like, to see like, you know, like hyper horny businesses not have some weird shit eventually happen, or eventually complained about, or eventually, you know, it's just like, bro, that shit just, it's a thing that comes with fucking stuff on the back end for sure. Exactly. And it's up to you if you want to fucking be a part of that life or not, you know. And when I think about strip clubs, it's like, bro, my whole life, you know, as a kid, when I was 15, 16, I have to admit, I remember thinking, the day I turn 18, can't wait to go to a strip club. It's gonna be so lit, all that stuff. But then by the time I turn 18, I'm like, bro, like, why would I go to a place where a girl is like, I know for like, one thing that kind of like is weird to me is like when a girl is fake being into you. You know what I mean? Like, not like she's like acts like she likes you for a certain reason. And you go to a strip club, that's all you're gonna find. They just want a guy who's gonna throw money at them. It's just like, maybe just because I'm more of an emotional person, where like I want like a connection or something like that. But like the idea of going to a strip club where this girl is just like just shaking her ass on you just for you to throw money, like, what is the benefit there? You get nothing out of it at all. I don't know. Like, I really don't understand the benefit. You get horny. What do you want to do when you're horny? You fuck, right? You can't fuck strippers.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my god, that's it. Whatever. That whole conversation's done. Okay, yo. This is oh wait, hold on. Let's pull this up. This is an interesting topic right here, where this. Oh, I feel like we should have brought this up when we were talking about the whole music money and all that stuff. But people always talk about how oversaturated the music industry is, especially SoundCloud, Spotify, and all, because anyone could upload it to there, you know. And you always wonder, how oversaturated is it? And here's this post from No Jumper that says around 38 million songs on streaming platforms received 0 plays last year. That's
very believable.
I want to see the equivalent for a YouTube statistic. How many YouTube videos have been posted with 0 views? I wonder if it's more than, I bet you it's more than 38 million.
Yeah.
It's probably easier to make a video than it is to make a song. It's hard to make a song. You have to put more work.
That's true.
A video, I could just film it on my phone and post it, you know? Well, I don't know. Are there people on Spotify who are just voice recording themselves and just posting it like a cappella?
Probably. You could upload anything there.
I feel like this really kind of shows you how crazy oversaturated that fucking market is. And the idea of like, I'm just gonna post a song and one day someone's gonna see it and it's gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? Like, is like, bro, those chances are so slim to none.
Yeah.
Like the Juice WRLD song, All Girls Are the Same. How did that go viral? Like, was he already with Lil Baby?
I have no clue.
Like, I feel like...
Thought it was off SoundCloud.
It was off SoundCloud. I remember listening to that song a long-ass time ago, like, way before Juice WRLD was popular. But I'm wondering, like, did that song become popular because he just posted it and then everyone's just like, wow, this is such a good song, and, like, SoundCloud just promoted it because the algorithm? Or, like I wonder how many artists are there that really just go viral or become popular or successful just off posting stuff with no
No, usually
string
people have
pulling.
like a cosign. Like
That's what I'm saying. Usually there's someone like, I'll know Bob. You know what I mean? Like in the music industry.
I remember that song Location.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Kylie Jenner posted that like on like a selfie video of her, and like the song was in the background. That song like blew up.
That was the thing. I've never followed Kylie Jenner.
But yeah, every song she would post, yeah.
Do they still like the Kardashians and like other girls? Do they still do that? Because I remember that was the thing back in the day where girls would like play songs like while they were getting ready or something like that, and it would like pop off like a unknown artist or whatever.
I just know
it is.
Kylie Jenner. I'm doing that.
No, but there's hella songs that Kylie Jenner would like play that like it didn't seem like she was paid for,
Yeah,
but they were
that's what I'm
like
saying.
they're like small artists on SoundCloud that fucking ended up hella popping, and I feel like they were doing it by purpose just to show how like tapped in they are. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Hmm.
Because well, she obviously has ties in the music industry. Like all her friends probably just show her new songs that are like
Kylie.
yeah, cool, and then she posts like this exclusive song that nobody knows about
That's true.
and puts
Damn.
everybody on.
She probably gets to like hop in a car and Travis is like, hey, here's 20 unreleased songs from Kanye and Drake and you know, like all your favorite artists. Here's like a whole track list of unreleased songs they don't really fuck with, but they're actually really good. But either way, yeah, I feel like that. I thought that was really freaking insane that there's 38 million songs with 0 plays. Really? Okay. What is it?
Get into it.
What is it?
Nothing.
It feels like you want to say something over there.
I don't.
you're like snickering. All right. I kind of want to talk about this. I feel like you should too, as a former college
I've talked about this many of times.
attendee.
I've already talked about this.
But there's a statistic out there now, and
Great.
I don't, it says it was a survey that was conducted, and it basically 42% of the college graduates that they talked to, they said that college wasn't really worth it. So
I think everybody's been saying this forever, for like the past couple of years now. I think it's just.
why do you think?
I think they just posted this just to fucking post it.
But
to be
why do you
honest.
think that's the case? Why do you think people are saying? Why do you think almost half of the college graduates are saying it's not worth it?
Because if you look at any job listing now, you don't have to have a degree for the most part, but for a lot of like big girl or big boy jobs, like you do have to have a degree of some sort, but like you could make a good living without having to do anything. Like I
Yeah.
literally just was telling Yuri, like, since I've been like looking for jobs and stuff, there's so many jobs where it's just like, if you're good at TikTok, you can make $50 an hour here, you know, like you don't have to have a degree at anything.
I think
You don't even have to have a social media degree or a marketing degree. You
No,
could literally just
exactly.
be good at social media,
Yeah.
and they're gonna want to hire you.
And also, dude, guys, this is the really hard part where I feel like you can watch like old shows or old movies where there's those types of people. They're just so charismatic and they have such a crazy character and energy that when they talk to people, like they almost like take over the room. You know what I mean? Like, and they could get any job they want. They could get any girl or guy they want. It's like because of their that crazy eccentric personality, and it's like it's hard to develop one of those. And like that's almost why I got the job at Starline, is because like I knew that people like this existed, because I met so many people like you're saying that don't have any type of scholastic history at all, but they're just able to fucking get jobs somehow. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. Just because of their energy or the way they talk to people or communicate, they can overhype themselves. And I've said this story before where, like, one of the jobs I had, I was a dispatcher at a air conditioning company, and my boss was this lady, this, like, old Russian lady, and she was telling me, she's like, Yuri, she's like, she told me that her first job, or her first good job where she's getting paid really well, she said that it required a college degree and it required experience in like whatever job it was. And she said that she lied about everything. She's like, I completely lied. She said, I lied about having a college degree. I lied about having experience. And then she's like, guess what? They put me in the job as like a little, temporary, like, we'll try you out for a week. And she said, like, I just was looking around and just figured it out as I was there and just realized what I had to do and just did it at a really good level, and I ended up working there for years. And then she said that she ended up leaving that, she didn't get fired, she ended up leaving that job for another job, and they still never even find out she didn't have a college degree. And she was like telling me this as like a way to tell me, like, dude, like, you don't have to go through the necessary steps sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you're driven and like you're smart enough or whatever it is, it's like you can do almost anything.
You're right.
But also you
Yeah.
have to be conniving. Like, I'm not confident enough to lie about having a college degree. I'm not that type
Nah,
of person.
me either.
To go into a meeting and be like, yeah, I actually graduated from
Fuck no.
Stanford 2007,
I can't.
majored in yeah, exactly. You'd have to be a really good actor. But yeah, so almost 50% of college graduates say that shit
We've been
ain't,
knowing this.
the shit ain't
Okay,
worth
this
it.
is not new news.
Oh my, I know it's not new news,
So
but
this is kind of sad news.
it's getting more and more confirmed nowadays. And also, actually, the reason why I also wanted to talk about this is I recently have been getting into these videos about video editing, and one thing I've always been interested about is like how is the editing bay for like movies? You know what I mean? Like, because I know how a lot of YouTubers and like people that make cool videos, animation videos, they're literally working inside their rooms on a nice computer, you know. But I'm thinking about when you think about Marvel movies or some crazy big cinema action like movie, like what computers and are they working on, what programs are they working on? And I've been watching a couple of videos recently about editors in that field, and they were basically, in the videos I was watching, they're saying that nowadays it's literally people sitting in their rooms working off a really nice computer, like, you know, a $10,000 computer, and they're just sitting in teams of fives, like editing and shit. And in that video, the lead editor was this like lady, and the dude was asking her like, how'd you get this job working for this company, like, because it's like a really big company? And she said, she's like, dude, she's like, I can't even tell you like what roadmap to take to get this job. She's like, this industry is full of, it's just like, she's like, this industry is completely uncontrollable, like you can't know what to expect. And she's like, basically my only recommendation is say yes to everything, and you know, try to apply and work for free at places they would want to work eventually, and like, you know, just basically put yourself out there as much as possible, and within a couple of years you'll never know, like someone that you did a $20 job for 5 years ago hits you up again, says, hey Rylee, really fucked with that thing you did 5 years ago, we got this $100,000 job for you now, you know. And she's like, was basically saying like, you don't know what to expect, but you just gotta like stay consistent and stay motivated. And she did not once say go to college, get your degree, you know what I mean, like go to film school or anything like that. She literally just said like, dude, you don't know what the fuck happens. And I feel the same way here. It's like, dude, I would have, you know, if I was talking to Yuriy 5 years ago, it's like I would not know how to tell him how to get to this position I'm in right now. It's like I would be like, bro, work hard. Like, oh my god, I don't know, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to say. It's like it was so it's so many weird little overlapping things that just happen.
Yeah.
And you just like kind of go through it. But either way, that was that whole thing.
Wait, so we already talked about this.
I know. I just realized here's the whole topic about Diddy saying that he was paying Sting $5,000 a day, and here's one interesting topic. We talked about this the other day during the late night stream with Vel and Brittany, but I feel like this is pretty interesting because it's. I feel bad for this girl.
This is super sad.
Yeah, it's super sad. You want to take these half skis?
Sure.
Let's go. Cheers, guys, to everyone that has made it to this part or this way to the show. We're I think like an hour and a half into the show. Cheers, guys. Okay, sorry to all the audio listeners. We just took a shot, but so we just talked about this on the on the late night show with Vel and Brittany. But the reason why I kind of wanted to talk about this is this girl, Sweet Anita. The reason why like I even know about her is because when Rylee and I first got together, when I was living with my roommate, she was like we were watching Scarce every day in Drama Alert, and there was hella videos or she was in hella Scarce videos and Drama Alert videos about how she was having these crazy stalkers that were just following her around town and staying around outside her house, and she would be calling the police and telling the police like, hey guys, like this guy's stalking me, and the police would tell her like, we can't do anything until he does something. And she was stuck in this weird position like, you want me to be attacked in order to have this man arrested? Like she was stuck in a fucked up ass position with these weird stalkers, and hopefully that's over with already. But that's the whole reason why I knew about her. And also she's a Twitch streamer, and she has Tourette's as well. And like, you know, that's how I found out about her, is like through that whole story. But this recent event happened where there was the Streamer Awards, and it was like sponsored by AT&T, and looks like she's working with AT&T to conduct interviews. And she was doing an interview with this dude. I don't know who this guy is. And she said a couple of things that I feel like maybe some people might meet someone and they'll have some things in the back of their head that they keep to themselves. but because she has Tourette's, like I feel like maybe she wasn't able to keep it to herself. That's my assumption. I'm not sure. Maybe she could come out and say like, hey guys, I don't even like this guy. It's just my brain. You know what I mean? Like it's just like how my brain works. I'm sorry, but maybe she doesn't even like this dude. But let's watch this clip together.
I like.
Yes, of course. Go for it.
Dick. It's dick. He doesn't smell dick. It's dick. It's dick. It's not dick. It's. You smell like a perfume. Do you know the name of the perfume you're wearing?
Giorgio Armani or something. I don't know.
Very classy. Very classy. And did you listen to any songs while you were getting ready today?
I listened to OMG by New Jeans so I can get more credit with the K-pop stands on Twitter.
What a bitch. I'm gonna f him. So basically. I've forgotten all of my questions now. Oh dear God.
I feel like she had an intrusive thought, and like that's what started the thing, and then she just got so insecure about her intrusive thoughts where it was just like I think her trigger is just like random thoughts she has, you know, like her.
Yeah. I don't know how.
And I think that's just what happened. Like she was just like so worried about like being embarrassed and like saying something more sexual that it just kept coming out, which is like the saddest part. Like they literally can't control it. But he seemed like understanding, even though he was laughing. Like she was laughing it off too. Like he was still nice.
She's a streamer. She knows. She's been like dealing with people probably making fun of her and like this being on camera for a long time already. But that's
like, just like like don't do that to her.
But at the end of the day, it's like as I was watching that, I even felt bad too, where it's like, you know, Riley's very emotional and she feels with people a lot, but like I was feeling really bad too, because it's just like, it's almost like, I don't know, like some Disney movie where like someone's in this fucked up position, but they're a really good hearted person, but they're just like stuck in these weird positions and their insecurities are activated, you know, and that's why I really feel bad for her. But then, you know, we were talking about this with Vel and Brittany, and they were bringing up a good point where, why are they having the person with Tourette's conducting the interview? That seems like it's destined to fail, you know? And and it's like, I know we want to be inclusive and like give everyone chances and all that stuff, and she's already an online content creator, so it's like she talks on camera all the time, but to have a person with Tourette's conducting an interview and not expect something like that to happen is like, you should have expected it, right?
Exactly. I mean, they probably were just super ignorant to it. So
what, AT&T?
Yeah, they're probably just like, this is gonna be such a good look. Like exactly. Like we're being inclusive and stuff, and like didn't think about what actually could happen. They probably did not pay attention to like what actually triggers her, or like what goes down, you know? Yeah.
And that's the embarrassing part, is like how you're saying the intrusive thoughts, where like you think something and you don't want to say it, you know, but then you just uncontrollably say it. It's like, oh my God, that must be so embarrassing. And not only that, but if that were to happen between you and some dude, and you guys were in private, and you're like, oh, you're handsome. Oh, I'm sorry, like I have Tourette's. Like, you know what I mean? Like it like would be weird, and you could just, it would still be embarrassing and weird, but like it wouldn't be as bad as it happening on live air.
And now they made a whole clip out of it.
Exactly.
And now it's on the news.
And that's the hard, really. I feel bad for Sweet Anita.
Me too.
This happened. It was probably live too. It's probably not recorded. I wonder if. Do you think there's a chance this is recorded and like they posted it regardless? No, I think
this is the streamer.
Yeah, Streamer Awards. It was probably live.
Yeah, it was probably live.
I bet you
it was definitely live. It was the Streamer Awards.
I bet you they're using a live view.
Cool.
Really?
Sure, they got the premium package.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Okay, so this is something I found. I guess there's a school in Georgia that, I don't know if it's multiple classrooms, but apparently there's like a class where people are literally just fighting and just recording it, and the teacher's just standing there like watching it go down. You had this happen in your classes?
Yes.
I was about to say, like, in my high school, like, if there was ever a fight that broke out, like, this is why it's crazy to me, because if there was a fight that broke out, like, that shit would be situated in, like, 2 minutes. But this is slap
boxing.
No, but they're not just slap boxing, I don't think. Wait, maybe they are.
Wait, I want to show this video because this is children fighting. But it looks like kids, no, they're throwing fists.
Yeah, see?
Okay, I didn't have anything like this, but should I say the name? It's already been more than 10 years. I don't think he even works there anymore. And also, he was my sister's PE teacher as well.
Yeah, he's probably retired.
But, bro, shout out to Mr. Cardona, bro. Mr. Cardona, amazing, great PE teacher. He was a really good guy. He didn't take no shit, and he was he wasn't a pussy. You know what I mean? Like, and he did this thing where I forgot how often he did it, but I was like a part of like 3 or 4 of these, and like a couple of them were really fucking funny. But he would do this thing where he would take out a bunch of mats, put them in the gym, and then he would have all the boys, not all the boys, but he would just be like, yo, who got issues with one another.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'd be like, who got issues with one another? Or he'd just be like, who's just down to come in the ring and throw down? And it wasn't a fighting. It wasn't like you wouldn't be allowed to use fists. It was like a...
It's like wrestling.
It was like wrestling.
It's like a wrestling class.
But it was super like you can get body slammed. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can get fucked up. And like it was like... he ended up getting in trouble for this. I remember.
Yeah,
like,
as he should.
no,
That's
I don't
horrible.
think so. Like 3-4 years.
Who's got beef with each other? Let's settle it right
3-4 years
now.
after I got out of middle school, because this was in middle school. Like when I was in high school already, I overheard that he ended up getting in trouble for hosting these events. But he would basically
Fight club.
Yeah, it was like a student fight club. Where I remember
no.
the reason why I say that is because I remember in one of them I was in. He literally said like he knew that 2 kids in his class had hella beef and he was sick of it, and he was like, "Yo, you two, get in the ring right now, like settle it," basically. And it was just like a whole thing, and it was super funny because one of the kids was like he was like kind of like my body type. He was like skinny, and the other kid was like hella overweight. And like we all just thought like the overweight kid was just gonna fucking slam this kid, but the skinny kid was like handling his own. And at one point they get into this like one thing where like they're like struggling over like a position that was like a 50-50, half and half, like over who gets the counter, right? And they're like as hard as they can, just like trying to like counter whatever the fuck they're doing, and the chunky kid ends up like farting really loud, and the whole class is just like, "Yo, he farted!" Like, bro, it was
That's fucking embarrassing. Oh no, that's worse than losing the fight.
But I wonder if I look up, or if someone looks up Mr. Cardona, Bancroft Middle School, if you would see the whole article. But
okay, these last 2 topics go kind of hand in hand.
Let's see.
So, I saw recently that Blueface and Chrisean were like hosting a rally at a high school, and I just thought like this was like the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, honestly,
it's like, dude, this is like exactly how like the rallies were in my high school. But I'm just like, what was the purpose? Who was the contact? Who approved this?
This is better than like a transgender dude running around in a peacock suit. You know what I mean? Like around the high school going, "Haha, it's amazing, it's amazing." Like it's like I feel like this is still kind of crazy.
This is crazy. Like for high school, I guess I could see like a college appearance. Like I know at my college, like we would have like once a quarter or once a semester concert where people would like, we had Kaylani, Jay-Z.
At
like,
your school?
Yeah, like they would have like a random concert for people, so I could see that happening where like Blueface would perform. But for a high school rally where like they're just doing like little random games with the high school students, that's so weird.
I do agree that is kind of weird, because it's like you just have to look at, like, bro, I remember, I feel like back in the early 2000s people were so much more strict with like, hey, you are the content creators didn't really exist, but like you are an online celebrity, or you're just you're a face celebrity for children. You're not allowed to do these things, bro, because kids, like, they don't need to hear this shit.
Right.
You know, like there was like that rule was followed really well back in the day. Nowadays, it's just like it's out the fucking window. It's just like whatever, kids, they could see anything, but it's just like, I feel like, this is kind of insane because of what Blueface and Chrisean are oriented with. You know what I mean? Like domestic violence, drinking, smoking, gang shit, just like the stuff that
it's just very adult.
Bro, it's like I'm not reaching by saying
OnlyFans?
Yeah, I'm not reaching by saying these things. It's like, look up like any like articles about this. It's like about that type of shit. The last viral thing was like Chris Brown saying like, hey, you guys support their domestic violence but don't support mine. It's just like, bro, they're like, they're kind of, they have these things attached to their name, where when they're out of high school it kind of does look a little bit crazy for sure.
So then that goes to like the second thing. Apparently this mom threw her daughter her 2-year-old a party for her second birthday, and it was Chrisean Rock themed, and I was just like, this mom is just trying to go viral. You know, like,
there's no way the 2-year-old knows anything about Chrisean Rock.
The mom was trying to say that she loves the "It's a Vibe" song, but it's just like, I get that your daughter likes the song, but she doesn't know who she is.
Yeah, it's not a good child celebrity figure, you know.
No.
And I feel like this,
Like, that's just too much.
what are those, like popcorn bags?
Yeah, I think, and juice boxes.
Oh yeah, I think those are juice boxes. That's honestly kind of cool. Honestly, I have to say though, regardless,
No, I like
even
the
if it's
festive
Chrisean or not, bro, I never had a themed birthday party. That shit's cool.
themed. I had a Hannah Montana one.
Hannah Montana.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a themed birthday party. I had a birthday party at a skate park.
That's fun though.
It was fun.
That's what you love.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like boys are just not. It's not really like themey.
I know. I don't care about like having Hannah Montana napkins.
Exactly. Like girls like that shit.
I just want cake.
But
and
like
my
that's so wrong. Like give the girl Paw Patrol.
Pop. I know.
Encanto.
Exactly. But yeah, like you're saying, if she's really like you're really into the vibe song, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you were playing it every day. If it
Well,
was your birthday that week that you were into the vibe song, you would probably been like, I love.
It's
like,
not my 2-year-old daughter's birthday theme.
No, I know. I agree with you. there.
Just because you like the song.
I feel like this is a good point to get into the next topic, where this is where, you know, she gets tricky. As for like I don't know, I just feel like I have to express my opinion on this, where we you know, it became news recently that Mr. Beast's co-host Chris has recently came out saying that he's taking hormone treatment therapy, right?
I'm listening. I'm just gonna fill the water.
And he is a grown man, and he's a grown man that can make grown choices, and that's completely fine. You know what I mean? Like, I have no issue with grown adults who are of age, you know what I mean, like 18 above or even 21 above, who are able to make their own decisions and understand, like, this is what I want. Okay, that's I feel like that's completely fine. No one has the right to judge an adult like on their choices as long as they're not harming people around them. I feel like that's completely fair to say. But like I was saying earlier, with the whole thing around being a child star and the things you promote, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes a little bit tricky. And I feel like if you look up the audience of Mr. Beast and who he affects, it's mostly children. I would say a lot of kids know about Mr.
Your
Beast.
niece loves Mr. Beast.
And I'm not really a big fan of the whole thing of like showing that whole lifestyle to children. I know people will disagree with me and they think, you know, you should be more open-minded, all that stuff. I don't think it's completely okay, to be honest, because I feel like, and also I forgot who tweeted this, but someone had tweeted, or Chris had tweeted saying like, hey man, you know, people are having issues with this whole thing, but like this is I forgot like gender reaffirming thing that's good for me, and he said it saved his life. And like I say, he's a grown man. That's I feel like if you're a grown person, you should be able to make any decision you want. If I want to split my tongue, I should be able to split my tongue, whatever it is. You know, I'm a grown ass person. If I'm 10 and I want to split my tongue, no. You gotta wait till you're 18 or 21. I feel like that's fair. But he was basically saying, you know, this is gender reaffirming surgery that saved my life. And then some lady tweeted, I forgot her name, but she said like, people are completely fine with Viagra. People are completely fine, which is, you know, also not gender reaffirming surgery, but I forgot what the name for it was. But she was comparing what he was doing to Viagra, to hair transplants, to breast implants, to like something else. I forgot what else it was, like having to do with the penis or the dick or some shit like that. And I was thinking like, okay, you know, that's a fair argument. But if I'm watching Blue's Clues, I forgot the dude's name from Blue's Clues, but if he hops on air, if Steve hops on air and he says, hey guys, I was so depressed, you know, that my dick wasn't getting hard the past month. I just popped Viagra and I've been great, guys. You know, my life is way better than ever. Viagra, oof, the best. I'd be like, bro, no, get that shit off this kid's show. We're like, what the fuck? No, I don't want to know about no sexual shit having to do with the kid's show. I feel the same way with that. I don't know, like, you know, you could feel free to disagree with me, but I feel like with Mr. Beast and his audience, like I said, my nieces are very young, and like, you know, they're watching that, you know, his stuff and like a bunch of other stuff. And I've had the situation with my nieces where I'm watching some show and Rylee was there, and there was like a trans person as like one of the people on the show, and I was, you know, just watching it, not saying a word, and my niece was like asking me questions, like confused, like, what's up with this? Like, why does this girl sound like a guy? And I'm just like, bro, like, I hate the fact that I gotta answer this shit right now. You're fucking 8 years old. Why do I have to explain this shit to my 8-year-old niece? Like, that's insane to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, people can hate me all they want, but it's like, bro, that's my honest opinion. They should not be fucking talking about that shit or even thinking about it. It's like, later in life, it's fine. Whatever. It's like, at that age, I felt so weird. I was like, keeping it, like whatever. It's like you're asking your uncle here. I was keeping it. I was like, because that girl is a guy. Sorry, you know what I mean? Like that's why it sounds like a dude, or he sounds like a dude because he is a dude. And she's like, okay. And it's like,
oh.
Yeah, that's what, like, it puts me in a weird position. Like, and I can imagine parents nowadays, you know what I mean? Like, and also not even worse. It gets into a deeper conversation that we probably won't, I don't want to get into, but nowadays there's a lot of schools that are telling their kids, like the students who are children, elementary students, telling them, hey guys, if you have thoughts like these and your parents disagree, don't tell them about it. We got you. We'll keep it away from your parents. That's even crazier to me, bro. It's like, dude, that shit's insane.
Today I saw this video where it was like Jojo Siwa explaining how she realized she was gay, like on TikTok or whatever. And she said, she's like explaining it, and she's like, I listened to this Demi Lovato song, Cool for the Summer. And then I went on my first date and I just realized, like, she's like, just said, like, I listened to this. Oh, yeah. She said she listened to this Demi Lovato song, saw this girl dance on So You Think You Can Dance, went on her first date with a guy and just, like, had the ick. And that's how she realized she was gay. And I was like, if Yuri saw this video right now, he would be like, oh my God. But I was just like, this is just the way she was saying it. It just kind of felt I don't know. It was just kind of weird. Like,
yeah, but like she's like what 18 plus now.
Yeah,
it's like people can make their own decisions at older ages.
Yeah.
My whole thing.
So hey, maybe that was her story.
Exactly.
But it was a weird video to watch. I was just like.
But the whole reason why I bring this up is just like, bro, when I think about Mr. Beast and I think about his friends and the audience they have, it's all kids, bro. And it's like, now you have this dude tweeting on Twitter saying, I'm taking hormone treatment therapy. Now, how many fucking kids are going to be like,
Jojo Siwa still sells all those bows and like all this stuff to like the little girls and like my niece and shit has like her bows.
That shit way slowed down though, because I remember back in the day, Rylee and I would go to Target or something, and it was like 90% Jojo Siwa.
Yeah,
but now
it's slowed down, but it's like girls still like those cute, like colorful bows. Like they're always gonna still be selling.
That's
and like,
true.
I think girls still probably watch her like music videos and stuff.
I wonder,
and like they're gonna listen to her saying like, I listened to this Demi Lovato song and I realized I was gay.
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh my God.
I wonder what her life is like now, because it's like she was a child star and her audience was mostly children, but once you get to a certain age, it's like, bro, like I'm an adult now, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to like I'm not into the same things I was when I was 13, so it's like I'm just like a different person. But I wonder, like, what is her path now? It's just like
I don't know.
It's kind of strange. Well, it's like, it's kind of difficult because she could realistically just fucking chill off the rest of her money now.
She's been on TV since she was like super little.
Look at Zach and Cody. They like just disappeared off the map, and like
they went to NYU.
I think it was like Cody, right, where he said he's like I'm just working at a bar, going to college, like trying to live a normal life now.
They
he's
both went to school like after the show.
Yeah.
And like lived their normal lives. My old coworker who I worked with at the daycare in San Francisco, she went to school with them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. They were in like the same
class. Are they our age?
I think they might be like a year older.
Than you?
Than you.
Than me?
Mm-hmm. A year or two older.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But yeah, she told me, she's like, no, I went to school with them and I would always see them. I was like, that's so crazy.
Hey, you know what's funny? I completely forgot about this, but speaking of Zach and Cody, Rylee and I watched this video. I forgot who made this video a while ago about how, I'm sure everyone remembers this shit, how back in the day you're watching Disney Channel and they throw on the Danimals or, random yogurt commercial.
Oh, yes.
And
the sweepstakes.
And it would always, in the video, I forgot who made that video, but they talk about how many of them there were. And this is why we all saw them, is because there was so many commercial sponsorships where Zach and Cody were like, guys, buy this yogurt or whatever it is, and you'll have a chance to go on this yacht with us, and you'll get a Lamborghini.
Trip to Hollywood.
Yeah, we'll go to Hollywood, and you'll drive around with me, all that stuff. And we were watching a video about how, like, basically there's, like, no evidence at all that they ever fulfilled any of their promises, other than this one dude. Remember? There was, like, the one guy who said that he said that Zach and Cody gave him a skateboard. And he said, like, we got to drive around Hollywood, and they gave me a skateboard. And that was like the only dude they could confirm with. But basically, it was like a whole video about how all of those Zach and Cody giveaways were fake.
That'd be so crazy.
I remember as a kid, you know, I would see those commercials, and then if me and my parents are going to Ralph's, I'd be like, please God, give me the Danimals. Like, I want to win a free. Okay, that was Luffy. I was gonna say that's some ghost shit. But I remember like begging for Danimals and shit like that because of those commercials. And then
exactly.
Little did I know, I would have never gone to Hollywood, even though I lived in Hollywood already.
I know. They would be like, easy, perfect. You're the winner.
We'll get you a taxi from.
It probably was in Hollywood, the winner.
I know, right?
They kept it at the Ralph's right across the street from your house.
They promised hella, dude, the video is crazy. They promised hella shit, like luxury cruises, like how you would go on a cruise with them. You and your family would go on a cruise with them.
I know.
And shit like that. And yeah, and apparently no one wanted that shit.
It was like all-inclusive resort stay.
There's a reason why we don't see that stuff anymore. Because it was
a scam.
Because they knew, because back in the day, you pull those scams and no one's able to talk about it. You complain about it to your friend and that's it. Nowadays there's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and like now it's like way more open. Now they're gonna get called out on their shit. So I feel like that's why we don't see those things anymore. And also on the same topic, there's a interesting video I showed. I didn't show Rylee's video, but I just told you about it, where it was about this old Pepsi, I think, or a Coke sweepstakes, where it said like if you get this like certain like golden ticket or whatever it is, you get to win a fucking like a jet airplane. It was like a fighter, like it was like the craziest airplane.
They did a whole documentary on Netflix about it.
Yeah, exactly. It was like you could win this like crazy airplane, and this dude, they didn't expect anyone to go this crazy, but honestly, it's like with the internet culture, we know now that like anyone's willing to go above and beyond. Literally, there's 100,000 people willing to go above and beyond for anything. So it's like when they posted the sweepstakes for an airplane, some dude basically went above and beyond, fulfilled all the requirements to get this airplane or this jet, fighter jet or whatever the fuck it was. He hit up Pepsi and he was like, hey guys, here's the things you asked for. Where's my fighter jet? And they were like, and they said that they didn't expect anyone to fulfill those requirements. So they basically made a promise that they knew no one could hit. But once someone hit it, they were like, bro, we can't give you a fucking jet. Like, that's illegal. I was like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Those were good times.
Great times.
You would look on TV and be like, I could win a tank. No way.
I always thought I was going to go to the Bahamas.
You know what's funny? I have this funny memory of back in the day when me and my family, when we first got our first computer, we brought it home and like my parents were like setting it up, and we finally like go on the internet for like the first time. Aww. And it was literally like my dad was sitting at the computer table, my mom was sitting, standing next to him, and then me and my sisters were like looking like, what the fuck, like what's going on? And I forgot what website he went on, but my dad went on some website where like a pop-up ad popped up and it said like, you just won $10,000. And literally immediately, like me and my whole family were like, oh my fucking God, no way, we just won $10,000. And then like
I've done that so many
within
times.
like 2 minutes of seeing this pop-up ad saying you won 10K, me and my sisters like gone to like a heated debate over how we're spending our money. I was like, we're getting a Nintendo Switch, we're getting a PlayStation, blah blah. They're like, no, we're buying this, like that's a waste of money, we're buying. And like we literally were arguing over a fucking pop-up ad that we were getting 10K or some shit like that.
It was always that and a Motorola Razr.
I know, I remember that. A fucking get a free Razr. Those phones were...
I was like, yes, let's go.
Those commercials were so cool. Do you remember them?
I had one.
They were like, I remember in one commercials, they were like weapons. They would be like slicing each other.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even remember those.
Yeah, they would like flip open the Razr and they were like cutting each other's shirts. And I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
I had to.
I remember I had a Razr too. Those were pretty chill.
It was the best. I wish I had it still.
Really?
Just to look at it.
The show's like this thin.
It was like, yeah. It was sleek.
Dude, I bet you if you try to find a Motorola Razr unopened right now, it's probably gonna be like $3,000-$4,000.
No, I don't think
I bet you. iPhones right now, old people make
3G.
People make videos about like how like iPhone 1 never opened before, and like they talk about how like super expensive it is.
Was there an iPhone 1? An iPhone 2?
I think it started with iPhone 2.
I thought it was iPhone 3.
Did it start with iPhone 3?
That's what I thought.
I remember there was the iPod Touch, which was the original thing before iPhone. I remember I got the iPod Touch and I was playing
iPod Nano.
I remember the iPod Nano, but the iPod Touch was the first thing with the full touch screen. Mm-hmm. And I remember that was a big ass deal where huge shout out to my sisters. I remember they got it for me for my 15th birthday, and I still have it here, and it says like happy 15th birthday, skateboarding is a crime, and they like have it engraved on the back. And I remember that show was such a big deal. Like I was playing Pocket God and Need for Speed Racer and like all these. It was like so fucking crazy at the time.
Yeah. But,
And then I remember the iPhone came out after that, and I remember thinking like, wow, this iPod Touch could work as a phone. Like I remember that was like such a shocker. And now we just all like literally 90% of people just fucking
I remember
have one of
everybody
these.
had an iPod Touch and they would use it as a phone.
How? Oh yeah, you could download apps
Just with Wi-Fi. Like
That's
yeah.
true. Well, actually no, way later with like a headphone set and probably
Not
shit like that
really.
too. But either way, guys, we appreciate you guys so much for joining us for another episode of 10 Talks, episode 112. And like always, we're going to do an after show, but we made it a full 2 hours today. Let's go.
Yay.
Why do you sound not so excited? We made it full 2 hours today. And I feel like we're probably going to need like a 20-30 minute break before we get on to the after show so we can eat something, because all we had today was breakfast and chicken strips. And that's it. So we're probably going to eat dinner really quick, make some dinner, cook dinner, eat it, and then we'll hop on for the after show. Like always, the only reason we do the after shows, or the reason we do the after shows, is because during the podcast, we have no ability to read the chat or react with you guys and, to communicate and all that stuff. And I did see that a couple super chats came in as well. So during the after show, it gives us the ability to actually read the super chats, react to them, and then talk to the chat and talk to you guys and, see what's going on. But either way, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining another episode. Let us know in the comment section movies that we should watch. And also, what movie you think we should watch for the next review. You have any ideas?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, you have to think about it. Okay, well, let us know in the comment section. You know what movie I really wanted to watch is fuck, I forgot the name of it.
I think I know what I would want to watch.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
I'll wait for mine
Don't
for
wanna
the-
bring
for
it.
next week.
We don't need to talk about it.
But either way, thank you guys so much. If you guys can, leave a like. It really helps grow the channel. Leave a comment with your, number one movie recommendation that we should talk about for next week.
Subscribe. We're so close to 10K,
Yes.
guys. Thank you guys so much.
People are asking, Yuri, what are you going to do at 10K subs? I feel like there's one thing missing that I'm trying to get settled. It's honestly the hardest part, which is the $1 a minute program that I need to get working, or even get. I haven't even got my hands on it yet. But someone was saying like start the $1 a minute as soon as you hit 10K, and I was like I'm down, but I need that program to work, because like I said before, guys, every time I've done a $1 a minute, it's literally me just calculating. It's like me pulling up a calculator thinking, I started the stream at 10 a.m. I got this many donations. The time should be this. It's like, it's so terrible because it's like, it's not fluid at all. But there's two people who have a, working program that does it automatically. And I'm super begging them if I can use this program for my stream. But either way, appreciate you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys for the after show.
Peace.
Peace, guys. Oh, wait, I forgot about this. I'm going to have to drag this over to end the stream. That's the difficult part. Hold on one second, guys. Thank you guys.